Good, we're good. All right, saying that we live. Hangouts on air is going away August 1st. Okay, so we need to get on top of the Spreaker thing.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, because remember it was originally supposed to be September or October, and then it wasn't even supposed to be. And then the fact that they was like, nope, we're just dropping everything August. We're like, damn.
Right.
A lot of podcasts going to have to switch.
Yeah, I know.
All right, I'm back.
No, you good. It's going to be a big difference for a lot of people because of the fact that it's changing over. And a lot of people did their podcast based off the Google Hangout. So I know we're just starting, but straight PSA, behind the scenes, you're going to hear about what we talk about behind the curtains real quick. August 1st is going to be the end of what the platform that we use to do Hangouts on. So with that being said, we are going to try to move to a different platform to actually do the podcast while still live streaming it through YouTube, so you guys can still interact with us live. So the app that I'm using, that I want to use, do have that tool. So hopefully I'm gonna start looking into that this weekend, and it'll be a smooth transition. The earlier that we start looking into it, the better it'll be for us to move over. So even though things are changing here at YouTube, this podcast is not going to stop. We're going to keep doing what we do. And with that being said, this is First and Framerates episode 75. 75 episodes. DJ's been here probably about 3/4 of the way. Bill's been here the whole time. We even had a 6-month hiatus. And even though with that, we're still going strong and we're still moving on to topics, sports and sports gaming. And we're just going to start off with the intros. I'm going to let Bills go first. Man, let everybody know how to pronounce your Twitter handle and let everybody know what you've been doing.
So yeah, it's at the official Grand. I know a lot of people aren't going to be able to say Grand, so you can just call it Grand. It'll catch on.
I can say Grand.
You can.
It's almost Spanish.
You can, but some people are going to look and say, "What's that thing over the accent? I didn't take a language in high school." But anyway, yeah, so I mean,
it's not even English.
Right.
But nah, yeah, it's at the official Grand. So that's gonna be my new name because we had some issues with the domain. Somebody apparently has Joseph Royal taken, Royal, just everything. So we had to switch up. But yeah, that's my name on Twitter. It's also my name on Instagram as well, so make sure to follow me on both of those platforms. And yeah, I got some good stuff coming for y'all, man.
Okay, I'm editing it right now because the auto edit that from my last live stream put Bill's fourth still. So you said the accent is over the A?
I mean, I don't think the accents in the actual
Okay, I got you.
You could just put
Okay, I changed it, so if anybody want to refresh the podcast or whatever, they'll see it as is official Grand. I'm sorry. And so what you been up to this week?
Just working with my manager a lot. We're setting up a photographer so I can keep getting my EPK together. I just performed at my cousin's birthday party last week, so I have footage from that. Yeah, just doing a lot of stuff, just kind of doing a lot of behind the scenes work right now and trying to make sure I'm ready for when I, officially launch my music and things like that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up with you, DJ? What's been going on?
Man, nothing much. Been watching people go nuts for about, 30, 40, maybe an hour over Twitter being down earlier today. Nothing much. I've been relaxing, just trying to stay focused on the personal training and doing some gaming here and there. I'm playing some No Man's Sky, waiting for this update.
Yeah, you've been on that, but you've been on that for a while now because you were talking about the last couple of episodes.
Yeah, I'm like that. It's a fun game, and it's vastly improved from when it initially released in 2016. So I encourage anybody that either has it or doesn't already have it to get it and play it. So, and also find me on PS4 under Lucky Manus 81, and we can all play. Bills knows what that's like as far as, but obviously he can't anymore.
Yeah, he can't. I was about to say he knows what it's like.
Speaking of gaming, yeah, we gotta add NBA 2K19. I got something to talk about with that.
Okay, yeah, we can just ad lib it through. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I think I need to start putting that in the description. Well, our gamer tag, so people could find us on there, on
Right.
those platforms as well. I mean, Bill's, he doesn't have a PS4 anymore, but that's a different story for another day.
Look, man. Look, a lot of things may change next month. We'll see how it works out.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. I don't know, man. You never know, man. Next generation, man.
Me bust out for an Atari.
Next generation. I know, right? Next generation, we all might use the Xbox as our prominent platform, just like we did this past generation with the PS4. You never know. But
I don't think DJ is gonna go over to the.
hey, he was a 3A.
Yeah,
He
because
was.
I'm still kind of salty over those Red Rings of Death from like the last generation, and that's gonna take a couple of generations to get over.
Well, let's not forget that they have no games to play.
Yeah, they really need to come up with some. I mean, even if you think, ever since like the original Xbox, they low key been struggling with exclusives. It's either been a few, just the Halo, Gears, Forza, type of situation. They really haven't had like that one big blockbuster exclusive since the original Xbox. Maybe Ninja Gaiden at one point.
Right.
Maybe, but anyway, as for me, still doing the same old thing, working. I got my wife and my son up here. They're, like I said, listen, my wife has been so supportive of me running around like a chicken with my head cut off and doing this podcast. I do have, I know I'm a husband and a father, and it's hard to balance all this all at the same. And every time I get to this podcast and I do it, it just makes it worthwhile knowing that I have that going on, and then I have these two guys on here on the panel that are actually doing the podcast with me. It's amazing because some people aren't fortunate to do all of this, just to have two separate entities to keep going this way and having a balance. So I really appreciate it. As far as gaming goes, I've just been playing a little bit of stuff on my PC. I've been trying to get back in NBA 2K19. So I mean, I guess that's something we could talk about. And I've been actually trying to find a group of sports games that I can play. I mean, I have the 14 series, NCAA, NHL, all that, and I've been trying to find a couple more to add to that because I'm not sure about these yearly titles type things. I haven't been on the bandwagon for a while. I just want one game to.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like,
you're
not reporting anything new on this one.
Yeah, I'm just trying not to. It's just like I really want to get a group of sports titles that I can just play, and I don't want to have to worry about updates and patches and people whining and complaining. It's just that's something for another day. Anyway, other than that, man, that's it, man. Just another week, and I hope that we can bring a great amount of content to this week's podcast. I think the topics are very interesting. I know Bill's been talking about 2K19 for at least 2 weeks now, and I know he want to get on that as well. And I think I have a few things to add to that. But first, before we get into the topics, Bills, you may not know.
Here
Hey,
we go.
Hey, listen, I got this.
Uh-oh.
Bills, you may not know.
Want to take a bathroom break? You may want to do it right now.
Why they want to go to? Why they
number one?
Time out. Why they want to go on a bathroom break when they get some prominent information to start?
I want to know what this is about.
Because they're probably carrying their phones to the bathroom anyway.
But they want, but yeah, I know.
Wow.
But if they want to start off their YouTube channel, this is a good time to stand around and listen to this.
Well, they're not going to be standing. They're going to have the phone in their hand and probably with their headphones and they sit in whatever. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Let me get this. All right. For you guys who want to start a YouTube channel, us at First and Framerates do have an affiliate now. Our affiliate is Intro Champ. And Intro Champ is a platform where you can get your own intros, very nice, high quality, flashy intros for your YouTube channel. And with that being said, we have a link in the description. You click that link, you get a lot of perks. Well, the main perk is a discount because I think it's more or less like 25 to 30% off of the intros that you want to use. Like I said, on my old virtual football channel, I've used these intros and they really helped out with engagement. People want to come back and watch my videos. Even though I wasn't the most successful channel, my channel skyrocketed once I used these intros. Once again, it is Intro Champ. The link is in the description. And when you use that link, it does give us a small little kickback, and as well as it helps you with the discount. Like I said, if you want to use these intros for your videos and or your live streams, it is a great tool to use. Like I said, you can make your own intro, put your own links, your logos, all that stuff. Anything that you want to put in so people could reach you as well as how they reached me when I was on the old virtual footballer channel. Now with my channel, on this channel, I'm going to be using these intros so you can actually see how they look in motion, as well as you can get an intro of those intros on that on the website if you use that link as well. Once again, it's introchamp.com/?r=25. But anyway, I don't have to repeat that again. Just look down in the link in the description. Is on here. It's going to be on iTunes, SoundCloud, and any other platform that we're going to be on. Once again, that's introchamp.com. IntroChamp is the affiliate link down in the description. Now, with that being said, what topic y'all guys want to talk about first?
Let's see.
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't have much on any of these topics. So I don't really care what order we go in, honestly.
Okay, that sound like that unskippable ad took a lot of energy out, man.
I
had to work on cutting that down.
I just don't have any. I don't know. I'm looking at the topics. I'm just like, I really don't have much to say.
Let's get Westbrook out the way because everyone's been trying to figure out where they think Oklahoma City is gonna go.
Oh, well, real quick, I have something interesting since we're starting with sports. I just saw come across the screen that Melvin Gordon wants a new deal.
And or he wants to be, or get,
and he's going to demand a trade. Yeah.
Why would you do that?
So he's going to hold out. He said
because he knows San Diego ain't going to do anything winning wise.
No. Why would you? To me, I think this is terrible timing, but that's just me.
Here's why
you're doing the Hollywood thing again.
Well, here's why it's genius timing, I think, in my opinion.
Okay. This
is going to be one of Phillip Rivers' last years. Mm-hmm. Melvin Gordon's going to be carrying the offense going forward.
Well, that's a great point. You're right.
So if he demands a trade and they don't give him the contract that he's looking for, they're asked out at this point. They didn't draft a quarterback worth of shit. Cardell Jones didn't pan out. So now they're looking at having a roster that's basically stripped down to an aging Phillip Rivers or having a disgruntled Melvin Gordon, which, I mean,
from that standpoint, I totally understand. Yeah. My thing is, I'm looking at it from a running back standpoint. It's like all these other running backs just got their money. You got the Todd Gurley's, Devontae Freeman, Le'Veon Bell. You got all these other running backs that just got their money 1 or 2 years ago. And now you want to come into the fold when, I mean, let's be honest, Melvin Gordon's good, but hasn't he just come off an injury and he didn't have the best productive season after that?
Well, to me, I would think. You also got to look at the fact. Just hold on.
Go ahead.
Also, you got to look at the fact that he's coming to the end of his rookie contract. Most people plan ahead these days. They don't wait until like either a good season or the last year of the contract to renegotiate. It's just for me, it's the same thing.
I get it. I totally understand where Bills is coming from. Where like, he's going to be the star, so you better pay me. But I'm also looking at it from a standpoint is look at the market. The market is, I mean, if you were asking for this 2-3 years ago, but you were basically a rookie then. So I don't think his production matches what he's trying to do.
Well, here's the thing that should worry them. Okay, so last year he started 12 games. He played in 12 games. He had 175 rushes for 885 yards. Now, here's the issue. He had 10 touchdowns. And that's his second year having 10 touchdowns. Okay. So a team that is looking for a running back that can just get them in the end zone, he doesn't have to get them down the field. He has a nose for the end zone. So it's like, I know for a fact that a contending team will overpay for him.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that.
So
especially with other running backs are locked up now.
So if I was LA, I might look at paying this man because
no, I agree. Pay him because I mean he's gonna be your guy, but for him to do this to get paid is kind of like why? Because the way I look at it, once his contract's up, they're gonna pay him anyway. I don't see him or anybody else is gonna go after him.
I don't know if they will. I don't know if Los Angeles will. I'll be completely honest. I don't know if they would. I don't know if they would truly pay him.
I mean, looking at
I don't know if
Wait.
until he backs them into a corner. I don't know if he just went through the season.
I mean, that's a 50-50 chance to say that he may not, because of, you honestly have a 50-50 chance. But when you're looking at the landscape, once his contract is up, what other running back is going to be out there? You see what I'm saying? It's not that I don't think he has the market size leverage, but the personnel leverage based on what the team has, he has all the leverage, because it's basically like, look, I'm the best player on the team. You need to sign me. But as far as the market itself, all 32 teams, he doesn't have any leverage on that end.
But you know what? You know what I think it is? I think this is another indication that the timing is maybe he don't want to be there.
Oh, there you go. That could be true as well. I absolutely agree.
Because if you demand a trade coming up to basically training camp and say either you pay me or trade me, it's like, they don't want to discuss a contract right now. You're almost backing them into a corner,
right,
hoping that they don't pay you so you could just go elsewhere.
So you might be right. I think if you look at all things considered, that may be the factor right there. He may not want to be there. Because like I said, you think about the market of running backs is pretty much dried up at this point, because all the other ones got paid. What other running back is coming up on a contract right now outside of him that we know of that's actually up to his level? And the fact that he's probably the highest, prominent, well, he's the prominent running back this, that free agency class that may come up, that tells you a lot about the market for running backs. It's not like how it was when Devontae and Gurley and Bell and others was looking for a contract. I mean, look, Doug Martin just got signed, not too long ago. You see what I'm saying? So, like, what's the market? Tevin Coleman has just left, I don't know. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe you don't want to be there. That makes more sense to me. But Westbrook got left high and dry again. Paul George got in touch with Kawhi Leonard and said, "I'm going home." And a lot of people trying to paint Westbrook as a bad teammate because KD left and all this other stuff. Now Paul George is gone. I think he's getting a bad rap. I don't think he's a bad teammate. I think he does crazy things on the court. I don't know if that was a deciding factor of PG saying he wants to go, but on the outside looking in, it looks bad. But all three of us who watch basketball, we clearly see it's otherwise. What do you guys think about that?
I'm gonna let DJ go first because I have a lot to say. So I'll let him go first.
Okay.
Yeah, as far as him going to another team, I mean, that's just speculation. But I'm looking at the core, like, why in the world the people are leaving? Is that really the case or not?
Honestly, I think it is him.
Okay.
I really think it is him because of, like, it's not just KD and PG. You forget Harden left too. So it's like it's something. It's not necessarily his skills on the basketball court. Maybe his personality doesn't mesh with anybody very well. He may be that type of player that needs to be alone. I'm like, have a team. You have that lone guy. He's the man, and he knows he's the man. He doesn't have to, in situations play second fiddle. It could be just it. To me, it just seems like it'd be a personality flaw in that. In today's NBA, you can't be just the man anymore. You got to have a second person because you're not going to always be the go-to in every situation. But he's trying to do it all, and we've seen what happens when he's trying to do it all and nobody else is scoring, and he seems to try to do the same thing even when he has a dependable score. I'm like, even Carmelo was there for a little bit, and it seemed like they couldn't work him in. So it's just like, hey, what can you do?
I mean, that's interesting because, I mean, that's one thing we can we can say, like, when you look at what Westbrook does on the court, it's kind of counterintuitive to a wingman or his running mate would like, because there's been times where, and I don't think it's 100% true, but there's times when it looked like Westbrook was like not feeling the other teammate. He'll play hero ball and they're not, it doesn't seem like they have like a chemistry going on together. So, I mean, I don't think it's 100% like I said, but there are times when you look on the court And sometimes, like you said, DJ, his personality don't mesh with a lot of people. So, Bills, I mean, what do you think?
So I've thought about this since he pretty much requested a trade, and what I've realized is that him winning that MVP was the worst thing to happen to not only him but the OKC Thunder.
Not only that, in some cases the league too, because some people think getting a bunch of triple doubles and being the man and losing all the time is okay.
So that's the thing. So when KD and Westbrook were, they made it to the finals in 2012. Clearly, KD was the guy. 2013, he was the guy. 2014, he won MVP. 2015, he gets hurt, and now it's Russell Westbrook's team, and Russell Westbrook wins the MVP, and I should say he has an MVP caliber season, but they missed the playoffs. Then I think the next year he won MVP. So it's one of those issues where it's like KD was clearly the guy, and then he got hurt. Russell Westbrook steps up, and he's the guy carrying the team, and then they both end up playing together again, and it's like a power struggle. And it's not even an intentional power struggle. It's just like, well, fuck, they both have MVPs.
Right.
And now we don't really know who the clear number one guy is, and neither one is really going to give that away and say, no, he's the number one. They're both technically in their primes.
That's a good point.
So it caused a big issue. I don't think Russell Westbrook's a bad teammate at all. I think he's a great teammate. The issue is, okay, so then Paul George comes. Paul George never wanted to be in OKC. Paul George has said he wants to be in LA. He said it for the longest. He hasn't hidden that in any way. Now Russell Westbrook in this situation is a casualty of tampering. Now, it's not tampering according to the NBA because apparently players can do whatever the hell they want to.
No, certain players can.
No, players in general can. Apparently.
Hold on, right. We're talking about the NBA. I thought you were about to take the NFL.
No. I mean, it's like
no, because when I thought about this with Kawhi, when I thought about Aaron Rodgers going to the IR for the second time in one season, and the Packers had to release him.
Right.
And the fact that he was Aaron Rodgers, it was no way that the NFL was going to enforce
him. Yeah, I remember that. That was a debacle.
Now, if you had the second string right tackle do that, his ass would have been gone.
Yo, but we've seen tampering. We've seen tampering all over the league at the Pro Bowl. Okay, Ray Lewis and T.O. Ray Lewis and Steve McNair.
Yeah.
We've seen tampering. In the NFL,
Ray Lewis and crime scenes too.
Oh, good. See, I was trying to.
I'm saying
you got that, but nah, it's crazy because it's like okay, Kawhi says, "Hey PG, I think you should request a trade." Then he says, "LA Lakers, hold off real quick. Don't finish the AD trade until Saturday. I want to see something real quick." So then they wait all the way till Saturday to complete the trade, thinking, "Oh shit, well Kawhi gonna sign here, right?" Kawhi goes, "Nah, I'm gonna tell the Clippers if y'all can pull off this PG trade, I'm gonna sign with y'all." Now, mind you, PG's under contract. He had no plans of. I don't say he had no plans of leaving.
He was in the second year. It was in the second year. It's not like the last year. He was in the second year of a 4-year deal.
Exactly. So it's like it's crazy the power that the players have now as far as tampering. It's like it's clear LeBron tampered through his agent to get AD there. And the Pelicans made him pay for it because they suffered all season. They didn't make the playoffs. Then they had to give up a whole bunch of shit to get AD in the offseason, so they made him pay for it. It's like, damn, Kawhi tampered. It's clear he tampered. Because think about it. I'm about to say, the reports were saying that he went to talk to the Lakers, and that same day, Paul George was in L.A., and they met up in L.A. to talk at the same time, right after the first meeting. And think about this. Every report that's been false, according to Kawhi's camp, they've come out and denied it. Show me one place where they came and denied that he had a meeting with Paul George.
Yep, exactly.
It hasn't happened. So clearly, he tampered. But folks don't care about that. They'd rather get Doc Rivers fined for comparing Kawhi Leonard to Michael Jordan in a goddamn interview. and they still ended up getting him, which is hilarious to me. Doc Rivers gets fined for tampering that didn't happen, just for Kawhi to tamper before he signed there, and they end up getting Kawhi and PG in the same day. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, what are these?
Honestly, beyond what other league you think they could pull that off in?
Nowhere.
Hey,
nowhere.
You couldn't pull that off in the NCAA. You couldn't. Hell, you couldn't even do that in high school.
Bro, if Tom Brady hits up Odell Beckham and says, "I know you're not happy in Cleveland. Why don't you come to New England?" But in the same week, Bill Belichick says, "I think Odell Beckham is the best receiver in the league," and gets fined. I guarantee you, Odell Beckham will not end up on the Patriots.
Absolutely not.
It's a clown show. Like, it's crazy to me. But to go back to Westbrook, Westbrook is a casualty of all that. So now he's trying to figure out his best place to go and still be a number one, maybe a number two. In Miami, I think he'll be the number one. I still don't think Jimmy's a true number one. And me as a Heat fan, I would like to see Westbrook and Jimmy, but
I was just about to get
like gasoline and fire.
No. I think no, because they're boys.
Nah, you waiting for a fight to break out in the middle of the game. That's what's gonna happen.
It'd be different if they
be fighting over the ball.
It'd be different if they hated each other. I think they like you.
People in the chat, tell me what y'all think about Westbrook and Butler together.
That is
very interesting.
This is the only reason I think it'll work, VF. The only reason I think it'll work is because I think that they actually are cool with each other and they both have a competitive desire. And honestly, but here's the other thing. Eric Spoelstra is not going to get in the way of either one of them trying to be the number one. So it'll work out because some games Jimmy Butler will be the number one. Some days Westbrook will be. It'll work because neither one of them have a
fight before the game.
Man, no. This is what. Now I'll tell you, the only chaos is going to happen.
The competitive side, I can see it. I see it because both of these guys want to win. But personality-wise, I wouldn't be surprised by game 5 of the season and do swinging.
This is the chaos. This is the chaos. This is the chaos that's going to happen. They're going to chew out everybody else on the team, and they're going to turn out and start liking each other and be like, "Oh, shit, yeah, you feel the same way. He is a scrub." That's how it's going to happen.
But what if Westbrook start doing those things on the court like he did with KD, man?
Then Jimmy will do it next game, and it'll be even.
And then the Heat will still be losing.
Well, look. I don't see a championship in our future anytime soon. And I said this on Twitter. I said this on Facebook too.
Not 7, not 8.
I just want to be entertained at this point by the Heat. I will settle.
Here we go.
No, what? I made this clear. I told
Here we go.
No. Go back to the podcast. Go back to the podcast a couple podcasts ago. What did I say, VF? I said I will settle for just having a reason to watch the Miami Heat this year. Did I not say that? I said I had no reason to watch them last year. Now, if Jimmy Butler and Russell Westbrook, it is settling, but I mean, it's gonna be entertaining. It might be a dumpster fire, but I'm
gonna look at some of the chat. They said Doug Thomas says Westbrook should be a number 2. I agree.
Yes,
I think he should be a number 2 instead of a point.
So should Jimmy Butler. He should be a number 3.
Is he willing to be a number 2?
Pooh said that's you see an argument.
He can't even count the 2, much less be willing to be a number 2.
I'm so done. Try to win a championship. Doug Thomas, that's not going to happen. We paid Whiteside max and just got rid of him after his trade value significantly decreased.
TD said first round exit waiting to happen.
I agree.
I don't think it. I think it could work if these guys actually move their egos, and that's hard to do. Those are 2 very headstrong players.
I just look at it like this: since it's the Southeast, who's going to be better than the Heat anyway? Realistically, if you look at each team
Orlando
in the Southeast,
honestly,
what do you mean no? Orlando was good last year.
Wrong.
Come on.
The team I can honestly say that's probably going to be better than Miami in the Southeast is probably the Hawks. I can see the Hawks
and Orlando.
Yeah, if KD would have went there, like I said.
Oh God,
I'm gonna have to disagree. I don't see nobody better than the Heat if they were to pull off that trade.
Yeah, but here's the thing: what are we giving up? We're gonna have to give up Bam. We're gonna have to give up Winslow.
I don't think Oklahoma City has a choice. I think.
Of course they do. They trade him to Detroit.
I think the Heat won't have to give up much to get.
No, because they're trying to trade him to Detroit. Detroit's a big time suitor. I hear Minnesota's still in it.
You're talking about a guy who averaged a triple double 2 years in a row and an NBA.
That's
MVP.
true. I'm not questioning his true value in a trade. I'm just saying what Oklahoma City could actually pull off.
Well, here's the thing.
If you're looking at the Heat, I don't think.
Let's think about it.
You can take from the Heat.
Jerry West is not there. Is not there, so they might not get as much.
Jerry West can't. He can finesse any deal apparently.
Here's the thing, though, is because there are other suitors out there. OKC can simply walk away and say, "Fuck it, we'll go to Detroit," and then Miami will be asked out, and we'll have Jimmy Butler. And I will say what I have said all along: if you're gonna get Jimmy Butler and that's gonna be your best player on your team, just blow the fucking team up. Seriously, just blow it up. But if you get Russell Westbrook and Jimmy Butler, you're damn right he will. But it's just like with Westbrook and Butler, there's something interesting there that will be entertaining. It might not be the greatest basketball, but like I said, right now, as a Miami Heat fan, after having no reason to watch last year, and they've been mediocre for the past who knows how many years, at this point, I just want a reason to watch them. And Russell Westbrook and Jimmy Butler is going to be some of the most positive and negative reasons to watch them, and I am here for it. And then it's talking about getting Bradley Beal, which is where shit kind of gets hazy, because then it's like, really, what do you have left to? Well, I don't know what you have left to trade for him.
Right.
Let me break in 1 second. I know Bill just said there was a past podcast to go back to, but VF, do we have a playlist?
Oh,
so we can, go back and
go to hell, DJ.
Oh my God!
Oh, he gonna kill me with that playlist until I put it up, man. I know he is.
I mean, let's be honest. It's been about 2 months now.
Right, it's been a while.
I know.
I'm going way beyond slipping. I'm just being negligent.
It really boiled down to how bad does Westbrook and Butler want to win? I mean, they're not going to win championship on that team.
Hold on, Bills. Westbrook, Butler, Whiteside. I'm not saying they will win a championship, but they kind of got a shot because the East.
Whiteside's bum ass is gone finally.
Oh yeah, he is gone, isn't he?
He went to Portland after his trade value significantly decreased, and we got nothing back for him. Yeah,
you know what? Just to break back in, if Pooh wants to do that playlist, if he can create that playlist, go right ahead.
Now let's go to the next topic, man.
Who needs to create a condoms company so he can stop asking?
Oh,
stop.
That's crazy, man. So, anything else on this? I honestly, at the end of the day, I think it will be interesting to see.
Well, hold on. Let's go back to the tampering real quick while we're on the NBA.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
What do y'all feel like? How do y'all feel about tampering? Because me personally, I don't see. I mean, I get it. I think it's a huge issue for the team that's having a player, being tampered with. But as far as I'm concerned, you get in where you fit in, man.
Why did he put that in the chat?
The comeback.
You want to be that's disgusting. Go ahead, VF.
TD also said, but the brother can't shoot. They'll like to see a 6 seed in the East. 6 to 8.
I disagree with him not being able to shoot.
Chris Thomas says he's going to be interested in the fighting standpoint. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be. Trust me, they're going to be reporters all around the Miami
reach advantage in that case.
Yeah, they're going to be all around that facility if they do get together because it's going to be story after story. Or they're going to try to invest on one.
White's going to be near that facility. That's what's going to happen.
What's the over under on Pat Riley pulling a Phil Jackson trying to coach the team from the press box instead of coming down there and coaching himself?
Like he wasn't already coaching the team from the press box.
I give it 25.
You believed all this time that Spolstra was the coach.
Oh,
But let's get back to the tampering thing. Like you said, do you get in where you fit in, or do you think it should be a problem? I think it's a problem because it's another layer of the other teams not being able to get in a competitive balance. Like this time right now in the NBA is one of the first times where you can see a competitive balance over at least almost 50% of the league. That is amazing. Because a couple of weeks ago, or even a month ago, I said that I would like to see any league to have at least 80. And I know it's kind of extreme, but I like to see at least 80% of the league to actually have a competitive chance to win. But right now, it's like up to at least maybe 45 to 50% of the teams. That's good. But with tampering, you could possibly go back to what we were with the super teams, or even a situation where there was maybe one or two teams that you always saw. So
DJ?
I don't know. I mean, there's a double-edged sword. My thing is, if you're going to tamper, I think the way it was done this year should be the limit. You're going to have your duos together, your Kawhi and PG, your AD and LeBron, your Kyrie and your KD. I think if it doesn't go past duo, I think I'll be okay with it.
DJ?
I find it hard to really police tampering in the first place. I know that I don't know if it's the NFL that has that period where it's like, okay, where they can minimize the tampering by allowing a period where it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't think much of it. I think at the end of the day, you can't stop a player to just whisper like after the games. You can't stop players from just saying anything they want in the middle, like after a game or even during the game. Who says there isn't tampering during the games?
I mean,
Like
you
when
know
they're
what's
playing
happening
each other,
after
they
the
could be
game.
talking. They're talking the whole. They probably could be talking as they're playing.
Oh, you know what's happening
So-
after the game for sure.
Yeah, so I'm like, if anything, they just have to whatever the part that they have right now, they just need to probably extend that a little bit further, and just say, hey, we're gonna allow tampering during this period. If we even hear the syllables starting to sound for tampering or anything outside this time period, we're finding and we're progressing it to suspensions if we find out that's the case. But other than
I
that,
have a theory.
I
have a theory. Let's say Kawhi Leonard signs to the Hornets, right? And let's say no, we know Michael Jordan's there. Let's say that Kawhi was tampering with OKC and with Paul George and was trying to get Paul George traded to the Hornets. I guarantee you that trade would get blocked. I guarantee
we already seen one trade get blocked, and that was with Chris Paul. He was supposed to
Well,
go to the
that
Lakers.
was a bit different.
Yeah,
Only
and he
because
wanted-
the league owned the Hornets at the time.
Oh
So that
yeah,
was
that's right.
yeah.
Because they owned the Hornets at the time. That's
Yeah.
why. Oh,
But I
okay,
mean,
never
even
mind.
then, it's like,
But still, it was still done,
yeah,
regardless of the ownership situation.
of course. But I mean, it's just a situation. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, if this wasn't a team in LA, if this was Milwaukee, and Giannis was like, hey, I want PG on my team, do you really think the NBA would want Milwaukee to be a superpowered team in the league? No. But because this is the Battle of LA, I'll just let it pass. It's okay. I think the tampering rules overall are very underdeveloped, and I think honestly the way they have them, they might as well get rid of them because they're so broad and they use so much discretion to the point where there's no real letter to the law as far as what tampering is and isn't. They just randomly say, "Oh, you tampered," like Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers didn't do anything wrong, but if you ask Adam Silver, he says, well, Doc Rivers should have known that he can't say that. He can't say what? That Kawhi Leonard is the closest he's seen to MJ as far as play style?
Right. All right. I'm gonna give y'all a quick heads up. I'm holding my son. I'm holding my son right now. So if you hear him talking, he's right here on my lap. So give me a heads up.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Right.
I agree with you with the whole tampering thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it could be easily taken far if you
They use far too much discretion.
right.
There has to be a letter of the
Yeah,
law.
I was about
There
to
has
say
to be a limit, like you said.
I was say it has to be. Like I said, with the duo, I think the duo was fine. As a matter of fact, I think teams with duos create a better, you know, interest in oh, I can't say the word enigma. Yeah, it creates that for the
That would have
team.
been funny if you mispronounced that.
I know, right?
Oh my god.
It creates that for each team because once you get a third guy that could be a number one for a team, people
Yeah.
are like, all right, this is too much. We already know these guys are going to win at least 60 games minimum. But with the duo, it gives you you know some type of interest in like, okay, can they do it or can they not? So I'm all for the way the league is set up now. I kind of encourage it to be even more this way. You know, everybody get their duo set up, and you know we have 20 25 duos in the NBA, and everybody's just going at it. Ain't that right, Kay? Tell them again.
Oh wait, one more NBA topic since we're on this.
Oh my God, he's really grabbing the microphone.
He was
He's
like,
like,
give me
hey,
the mic
I
so I
got,
can
I
spit
got, I
real
got something
quick.
to say. but I got one more topic. I think it's interesting the KD situation as far as his reasoning that we're hearing why he left Golden State.
Uh-huh.
I think it's very interesting because you had Andre Iguodala come out and he talked about the whole situation with them misdiagnosing players, and he pretty much exposed them.
Right.
He said, "Look, I had a serious injury. They told me it was a bone bruise. Everybody's asking me when I'm coming back, when I'm coming back, when I'm coming back, and I knew I wasn't right." It's like, and then you have Kevin Durant come out and talk about how, he was always playing second fiddle to Stephen Curry.
Right.
Which, to me, what did he expect?
I mean, Kevin Durant on the basketball court is the number one guy.
Yes.
Marketability, it's all about Steph. That's easy.
But even from the aspect of Stephen Curry is the reason why this dynasty exists. Him and Steve Kerr. I mean, Klay Thompson plays a role, but Stephen Curry is clearly the breadwinner.
I mean, he's the guy that been there from day one. I mean, he was there when Monte Ellis was there. I mean,
right.
You gotta give him that. You gotta give him that. Not to say that KD don't deserve it, because like I said, if KD didn't go there, I don't think they would have won those championships. That's one thing I respect about the KD move. Not the fact that he went there. It's the fact that when he went there, he took over to be the guy. He doesn't go there to bandwagon, or he didn't go there to piggyback on what they already had. But I respect that side of the actual move. But let's not get it twisted. That's still Stephen Curry's team.
But that's like Wilt Chamberlain signing to the Celtics back in the 60s and saying, "Oh, I'm playing second fiddle to Bill Russell." What do you expect?
Right, exactly. Same thing.
So, I mean, I get it, but I don't get it at the same time, because what did you expect to do? You expect to come and they just cater to you as opposed to Steph? Now, the whole Draymond Green situation was ridiculous, and I agree with that completely. And I'm
starting to worry about Draymond, and he sounds like an intelligent guy when he talks. But he was the guy to start that owner thing, that governor thing. He's the guy that started that.
Yeah, he's
what I'm saying?
He's a character.
Yeah, I think he needs to slow down. He needs to slow down a bit, because when he talks, he does sound like he has sense, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nevertheless,
but you had a situation where that interaction on a bench happened, and I've seen the full video of it, and I think I sent it to the DM. The whole situation with KD and Draymond, and KD was trying to defuse the situation. At first, he was mad because he didn't get the ball. Draymond went up there and he pushed the ball down the court and he turned it over. KD was upset. KD got to the bench. He was like, I'm cool. I'll sit down. I'm cool. It's all right. And then Draymond, all of a sudden, calls him all these crazy names. He says, "We don't need you. We won't without you. Leave."
Yeah.
I mean, you think you can just, and we said this, we were on the podcast saying you can't just come to practice the next day and act like everything's culture.
Right. Especially with a guy like KD. You got to understand where KD came from.
Yeah.
KD came from a team that already had these type of issues in the background already.
And that statement's coming from a dude who was crying in the car, "KD, we need you," after Game 7.
Right. Exactly.
Against Cleveland.
Exactly.
And now you're saying we don't need you? Which one is it?
I'm gonna look at these chats real quick. TD said, "I agree. The battle for LA is good narrative, but he don't think the league is opposed to small market teams being good. He
Oh,
don't
it
think
is.
the league is opposed." Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Hey, B Fife, what's going on, man? Long time no see. Um, TD also says he don't think Kevin Durant could accept the fact that he isn't an alpha.
What?
He's an alpha level talent, but the leadership isn't on that level. Hmm. It's
I
hard.
mean,
It's hard to say because the way that he did what he did when they won the
well,
championships.
let me ask you a question. Was Tim Duncan an alpha level leader?
Oh, that's a good question, but that's
Because
more.
they lead
That's,
in the same way by
yeah,
example.
yeah, that's what I'm about to say. That's a good question because you can make a you can make a argument that other people for the Spurs was the vocal leader, but
Yeah.
clearly when you saw Tim Duncan, you knew what time it was. You knew who the number one guy was for the Spurs
I
during his
mean,
run.
let's be honest. If KD had Greg Popovich as his coach, he wouldn't get criticized for not being a leader.
Even though Pop is the type that probably would.
And if Tim Duncan didn't have Popovich as a coach, people would have said, "Oh shit, well, why isn't he like for example the series where they got swept by LA and got beat by 25 points per game?
Right.
I don't think Tim Duncan was much of a leader in that series.
Right.
That's me.
That's I can understand that. I think overall with Tim Duncan leads by not trying to lead.
Wait, no, TD, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't say a 5-time champion says that he's an alpha level leader because there are a lot of players who have won a lot of rings and they weren't leaders. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was not a vocal leader. He wasn't that type of guy. He was just one of the greatest players to ever play.
That's another one. I think these guys are you see their presence. They don't have to say nothing, but
Yeah.
you know what they expect.
Everybody's not that type of guy. Hakeem Olajuwon was not that type of guy.
Right. That's another
He
one.
has 2 rings.
Yeah, that's another one. It's
David
like,
Robinson was not that type of guy. He was the man on the 99 team that won it all.
yeah, I
I
agree.
mean, you can't.
See that's what.
But that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
you can't say that KD isn't an alpha level leader when he clearly leads by example without being vocal.
So before we go to the next topic, this is a good question. Can you be an alpha male by not being vocal?
Of course you can.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. Even Michael Jordan wasn't a rah-rah guy.
He wasn't very vocal either.
He wasn't a rah-rah guy. It was, look, I'm going to kill y'all in practice. You want to know why? Because if y'all fuck up in the game, I ain't passing y'all the ball.
And if you fuck up in practice, I'm gonna probably knock your ass.
I'm gonna knock you out. So it's like MJ didn't have to do all these rah-rah speeches and we're gonna go get no. He's like, I'm gonna go out and drop 40. When I need y'all to hit an open shot. Yeah.
Yeah, the only person who couldn't do that to was Robert Parrish.
Yeah.
Because Robert Parrish came out recently and was just like, yeah, Jordan tried that shit with me. And I was just like,
but you also got to understand.
What you going to do?
Yeah, you got to also understand Robert Parrish, where he came from. He came from the Celtics when the Celtics was whooping his ass back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like
that's what then and that's a case where Jordan had to back off. It was like, you got that?
Yeah, like, oh, I know that.
That's
history.
why you ain't playing.
I got another example.
He's like, yo, I know that history. I ain't gonna touch that.
I got another example.
Wait, hold up. Yeah. I know you got another example, but we gotta move on.
No, yeah, but I'm just saying one more example. It's not gonna be long, but just okay. Isaiah Thomas. Who were the rah-rah leaders on the team? Rick Mahorn and Bill Laimbeer. On most championship teams, the best player is not the vocal leader.
Yeah.
But
there you go.
In football, yes, but football's different.
All right.
But yeah.
You know what? At the end of the day, this whole Westbrook thing just spread out to so much different things. I think it was a good discussion. I agree with you, DJ. Mm-hmm. We do need to move on, but I mean, I think it did give us a really good chance to talk about a few things outside of that in general. But all right, let's talk about this FIFA 19 refund thing. I know Bills was somewhat confused by this, and some people may be confused by what they see in the title. But I'm gonna pull up a GameSpot forum. It's also I'm gonna pull up the actual article from the BBC. The BBC is a news outlet in the UK, and they basically talked about how some kids took their parents' credit card and basically ran up about $500 worth of what's this, FIFA pack cards or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they basically
Yep.
like went ham. So I'm gonna let me see. Let me put this over here. Oh yeah, that'd be great.
And if we had that playlist, we could go back a few podcasts ago where we talked about this,
Oh
where
boy.
we were talking about like in cases anyway, where we talked about where people usually if they have a credit card associated with their account on PSN or Xbox or whatever, that if a purchase was made, they would get a notification. Now, I wonder in this case, just to preempt it, I wonder if this case that those parents are receiving those notifications or they just ignore it like every other email they get.
Yeah, that'd be definitely that would definitely go into the see and find out. But kids empty the bank account playing FIFA. Microtransactions run amok. Yeah, my son, he's back there talking about it too. Um, 4 children spent nearly 550 euros in 3 weeks buying a player pack to play. So they spent all this money trying to get one player, and basically the parents found out they wanted a refund. Nintendo gave them a refund, and this is one problem that I don't like about microtransactions. But we talked about this on a few podcasts ago that should be in the playlist. Shut up, DJ. That we talked about parental responsibility, and me personally, I feel that this sucks because look at this. This is a little clip of it right here where you see where on June 3rd, well, from May 31st to June 3rd, they went ham and went like $15.99, $31.99, $20, $11. They just went in and just started buying a bunch of stuff just to try to get this player. So
This looks like this looks like Gideon Prime's transaction sheet for my team.
Oh wow.
right.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. It's just crazy just looking at it was like several on a Monday, a few on a Friday, and they're all in pounds. So it's just like 31.99 pounds, which is probably like $50. I'm just guessing. I don't know the exact
Euros,
translation of pounds versus
pounds is,
euros and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're slightly. I think
But
I know at one point they were slightly more valuable than of the U.S. dollar, but I don't know if that's still the case. So if it was where it used to be, that's probably somewhere between $28 to $29. But
yeah, because I'm just looking at the amounts. Like the exact same amount was used 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then on another day that same amount, and then you have. I'm like, wow. I can only imagine. Like I said, that getting the notifications. I wonder, did they have their account notifications on? And they actually in this article have down below where it says how to activate spending controls. So they have one for the Xbox One, the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I just pulled it up so people can see it.
Yeah, and also on your iPhone or iPad. Smitty has an iPhone, so
hold on.
I saw that earlier. I was kind of going ew about that.
I'm about to go left for a second. Look at this. I pull up this article and look at this shit on the left. I'm on the right. Every man wants to have sex with you. Are the main target of sexual harassment in Iraq? What the hell the BBC is talking about?
Well, they're talking. Well, those ads are okay. VF, this is where it turns back to you. This is basically pulling up ads based on probably topics you have either talked about, engaged with, whether it's been anywhere on the site or whatnot. So these are targeted with your personal customizations in mind. So you may want to stop.
VF, Crystal might have to go through your browser history.
No, you can go through my you can go through my browser history. I don't look at none of this stuff.
You doing searching up women in Iraq? What's all that about?
Look at this. It is crazy, yo. Let's look at the feed. Will humans be back on the moon? Who the hell is Baby Archie? I don't know.
How the coffee crisis might affect humanity.
Why this woman sleeps with tape on her mouth? What the fuck is
what? Wait. Hold on. What is she like? Scared somebody's gonna break in her house and stick a dick in her mouth? What is?
I have no
tape
idea.
on her mouth.
I'm just looking at this like, listen. The only thing I do on this computer is game. That's it. I don't know where
Man.
Wait a minute, what's that video log thing on your browser?
Oh boy.
No video log.
Wait, what are you doing on Amazon.com? What are you shopping for?
He's shopping for Iraqi.
It better be an anniversary gift.
Oh man, no video log. That's my
goddamn Iraqi woman blow up doll. Oh my god.
I mean, I just find it weird. It's like, what the hell is going on? This is
we find what was popping up weird too.
Bro, how you spend $10,000 in 2 years? That's crazy.
I don't understand it. I don't. It's like in 2018, Gamers News website Eurogamer published an interview that adult FIFA player who discovered that he has spent $10,000.
That's ridiculous.
The U.S. dollar is more than euros now. $8,000 in 2 years after he issued EA with a freedom of information request.
That's ridiculous.
He told the site it was just not worth it. No,
what you think? What do you? Oh my god!
Now I don't know. I mean, so when we look at these kids doing this with these transactions, I mean, what are your thoughts, Bills, with this right here? Because I'm pretty sure me and you on the same level with this,
bro. In a black household, it would have been an ass whooping. I know that much. Without a doubt. In my household, that would have been an ass whooping. It's crazy. There has to be I don't know. The level of accountability for the parent has to be there, but I think it's also, these consoles' jobs to have, a verification process in place that these kids would have to go through every single time. But, who knows? They might have an option to do that, and the parents just aren't doing their due diligence as far as making sure that two-step verification process is used every time. I honestly can't say.
Yeah, I think it's on the parents at the end of the day, because they should not even, if they want something, we get to the TV or the computer, we'll go ahead and purchase it then, and that's it. There's no credit card on file. There's nothing like that. If anything, if they want to feel responsible, I would go buy them like a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox Live card and just let them buy it off that one particular card. I would never have to put my credit card information on it. So I kind of blame the parents for this, because children are still young. They don't understand the value of a credit card, let alone real money. So I kind of blame the parents. The kids, they're only doing what you let them. So, but I know, like TD just said, it's like, if you pull this stuff off, you would have to package stuff in the process. If it was me, I probably wouldn't be here doing this podcast. It's like I would have been done a long time ago. But but we all, me and you, Bills, I know DJ, most of parents the type of parents we had, we didn't grow up having the opportunity to even do stuff like this.
But the other thing is, kids also know the timing of when to ask for shit. Because,
yep.
It's one of those things like, obviously we've all had girlfriends, and, you'll say, your girlfriend will ask you something, and you might not be paying attention, might be watching the game or something, like, oh, can we go buy some shoes tomorrow? Oh yeah, babe, whatever. And then tomorrow comes, and she's like, so when we go into the store, and you're like, wait, what? So it's one of those situations where the parents might be preoccupied with something. The kids say, hey, can I get this? Yeah, sure. Yeah, whatever. And then that turns into the card getting saved on their account. And then this happens. So it's irresponsible parenting.
Yeah, I think it's the parents at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong, the kids. I mean, how old were these kids again?
Doesn't matter.
Honestly,
it doesn't. But
if they're under 18, they're not responsible. So
wait a minute, that's messed up. If they're under, so that's messed up.
I don't care if they're like 16 or 17. If the parents set up, if at this point the kids are still under their parents' account and they're 16, 17, and they've done this, then the parents should have put in what?
Breaking news.
Hold on, wait a minute. Slow down. Let me get this off the screen.
Yo, this is crazy.
All right, now what happened now?
The Thunder agreed to trade Russell Westbrook to the Rockets for Chris Paul and future draft picks.
What?
Oh my God.
Bro,
wait a minute. The breaking news. Who's it
ESPN.
from? Because remember, we gotta check our sources now because we already know.
No, I got an official alert. I got an official alert from ESPN. So
I got
Woj no more talk of him going to the Heat.
Yeah, I got Woj right here.
Yeah, what are the Thunder thinking?
Yeah, I got Woj right here. I'm about to pull it up so people can see it. This
Chris Paul hasn't even popped up on NBA.com yet.
Hold on, I'm about to pull it right now so people can see it.
This is huge news.
No, let me tell you right now. The Rockets won this one easily because they've been
the Rockets easily win because James Harden and Russell Westbrook are like best friends. So that ball dominant thing, they're not gonna care.
Right, yeah, it's up on the screen now so people can see it. But yeah, the Houston Rockets are the winners easy because they've been wanting to get rid of Chris Paul for a minute of one, and his contract is terrible.
But so the Thunder, what are you thinking?
Guys, they're going to be all offense and no defense.
I mean,
this is another explosion that's about to happen, but it's not going to be between them two. It's going to be with the rest of the team.
You know what though? But here's the thing. Chris Paul, I don't think last year
Paul got assed out on that one.
I don't think Chris Paul was good enough to get them through the times where James Harden was off last year. I do think Russell Westbrook is. I think Russell Westbrook is younger.
On this one, though.
Chris Paul gonna retire. No, he's not. He's gonna get that money.
He gonna cry and then he gonna retire because it was just
the Thunder are gonna pay that man 100 and whatever he has left, 100 million, whatever he has left on his contract, and he's gonna sit back and they're gonna win 20 games.
He's basically almost near where he was when the Hornets were. I know Oklahoma and New Orleans are like two different situations, two different geographic locations, but it almost seems like he's now back to that similar situation he had when he was with the Hornets when they went to New Orleans. The Hornets were in Oklahoma City at the time.
But DJ, he
made a full circle.
But you know what's worse is that look at the first round picks that they got. They got 2024.
Yeah, he gonna cry in the car.
They got 2024 and 2026. The kids they're gonna draft ain't even in college yet. They're not even in high school yet.
They probably not even born yet.
Not even but guys, man, this is
Chris Paul ain't even going to be around to witness these draft picks.
Hey, you know what? Chris Paul might get a buyout. He might get a buyout.
Damn, that's a lot to buy out, though.
If I were him,
he'd be like, damn, I gotta see
this city again.
Oklahoma's gonna get a lot of money if they do that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's basically canceling out because Westbrook's contract has more than Chris Paul's contract left on it. So if they give Chris Paul a buyout, which I anticipate they will, God, this is crazy.
TD said Harden had to sign off on this.
Oh, I mean, of course. Everybody who thought that
less defense.
Everybody who thought Chris Paul denying that trade rumor was just, he said he didn't want to be traded, so I guess he didn't want to be. Yeah. Okay. All right. Whatever you say.
But this is a big deal, though. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that he went to Houston, but still, this is I don't know. I think Oklahoma City just got they got hosed twice. Jesus Christ.
Chris Paul got hosed the worst.
Right.
This is insane, man.
Equal pay.
But let me take this time to give a shout out to Spec for creating that playlist since he was begging for me to even say something about it since he always looks for gratification from whatever source, whether it be a rubber source or an organic source. So thank you for making that playlist. It shouldn't have taken you 30 minutes to make. It should have only taken you 5. I don't know what else you were doing, probably chewing on more rubber. And
Why the man got to chew on it all of
I appreciate that. Thank you.
chewing on the rubber now. Anyway, these soccer women, WNBA, other female. Well, I ain't gonna say the other.
I gotta be these soccer women.
These soccer women, the world champion. What they are, U.S. champion?
Why can't be the World Cup winning U.S. women's soccer team?
Exactly what DJ said.
I gotta be these women's.
These women's.
When it's already plural when it's women.
Well, I got an issue with. I have an issue. I have a growing issue with Rapinoe. So I'll say this woman.
And I am going to oppose you on Rapinoe because I think you're just looking at it on one side.
Well, let's get into
and not looking at the whole
picture. We'll get into it.
Yeah, I said the same thing to VF because he was looking at it one side. I had to tell him the same thing.
Yeah,
these women. Not only that, we're going to get into the.
And you're the one holding the child right now.
Hey, that's my son. That's not a woman.
I'm just saying.
It started with the WNBA a while back. This is happened way before then, and WNBA wanted equal pay from what was it, Bills? At least 2014 when they started talking about it. If that, yeah. It's been a while, so this is not new. It's just been brought back up to the forefront because the world champion women's soccer team won, and they've made a big deal about this. And we know when you look at the numbers, it doesn't add up. This, women's soccer generated $131 million, something like that, compared to the men's soccer, which is $6 billion. And we're not even talking about U.S. money. That is international money. So
I was about to say, good. I'm glad you made that distinction because there's a big difference.
Yeah, that makes it even tougher to ask for equal pay because you're talking about money from all over the world, not just in the U.S., where the economy is really going to be affected with this type of stuff only in this country, not across the world. The WNBA, same thing. I can't remember how much they generate, but we already know that the NBA, they generate tens of billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So in the WNBA is not even close, but they want equal pay as well. Listen, I'm all for everybody making money, and your abilities and your talent should give you that type of give you that type of clout to make that kind of money. But if the numbers don't add up, the numbers don't add up. I don't think it has anything to do with gender or anything of that case. Let's take a flip side of this before I throw it over to you, Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Look at these TV shows with these women in the morning. The View, you look at these other shows, those women make a lot of money. On the men's side, I don't even think they even have a group of men that do that same type of stuff. That's how low income that can make because it's not even a demand for it. So with them making that kind of money on that flat end, if the men try to come up and say, hey, we want equal pay, we're going to start up our own show, those girls who've been doing those morning shows, they make millions of dollars of doing that. Those men shouldn't be entitled to even make it close because you don't even have the demand, let alone to be actually on TV. You can't even garner up the demand to actually have a show. So it's basically dollars and cents at the end of the day. So, Bills, what are your thoughts about this situation?
Okay, well, let me ask a couple questions real quick. Should Ralph Tresvant get the same amount of money for a performance as Patti LaBelle?
Hold on, say that again.
Should Ralph Tresvant?
Patti LaBelle should get more.
Right.
Okay, so we're clear on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Should Milli Vanilli get as much money as Michael Jackson? No, right? We know that. Okay, cool.
Right.
So the issue that VF brought up is, I think, the core of this whole situation is if you don't generate as much money, you can't make as much money. It's simple logistics. And it's a situation to me that is way simpler than people are looking at it because I just look at it that way. If you don't generate more money, you can't get more money in your pocket. That's not how shit works. Sorry. It has nothing to do with gender. If the WNBA was a clear better product than the NBA, and if the players were clearly better at what they do than the NBA players, I would have no issue with it. But they aren't. And they don't generate as much money. So it's that simple. And the thing with Rapinoe is she's talking about getting equal pay, but she admits that they don't sell as many tickets, as many jerseys in her own tweet.
Stop 1 second. I hate to say this, but there's somebody who do podcasts as well that claim that they know about sports, tweeting stupid stuff again.
Oh boy,
that is all. Keep going.
Who we're talking about?
Oh boy. Well, yeah, who we talking about?
I'm gonna put it in our chat. I'm not gonna put it in that chat.
Don't do that.
I thought we were supposed to be uncensored and
that's
whatever,
why.
and you're gonna hide.
I'm not hiding. I just want y'all thoughts first before I put it out there.
Yeah, let me look at it.
What?
Oh.
All right. Okay.
You know what? I think his Twitter handle should disqualify him for talking about that particular sport.
See, that's funny because I was saying the same thing, but only if it was Westbrook and Butler, as we already talked about. I don't see that with Harden. They've already been teammates.
Exactly.
Not to mention they have natural chemistry because of the fact that they basically play pickup every summer.
There you go, chat. There you go. Click on it. All right, back to what you're saying about the equal pay bills.
But no, so I mean, I just think if you don't bring in as much revenue, you shouldn't make as much money. That's just as simple as it can get. And I don't think it's about gender. I think that using gender as the reasoning for that is a bit of a cop-out. Because in her situation, she already admitted that they don't sell as many jerseys and they don't sell as many tickets. So, I mean...
Wait a minute, Bills. Daigo, what is this? That says Daigo Mathua Souza from Brazil.
Thiago.
Yeah, Thiago? Okay. You know, I can't read. Appreciate it. You hear from Brazil.
Hey.
He admitted it.
I really appreciate that. Got it. People who are listening to the podcast from Brazil.
Hey, Thiago, so let me ask you a question. I'm guessing that Marcelo draws just as many fans as Neymar, right? Since you're from Brazil, you would get the comparison. It makes no sense.
Right.
So, I mean, like I said, I'm all for equal opportunity. I am not for equal pay. Because I'll be quite frank, when this is my ego coming into play, when I become one of the biggest singers in the world, yes, I have a bit of an ego, but I need it in this business.
Oh, you're going to get there, though. You're going to get there.
I mean, I appreciate that. But no, I mean, I'm saying it tongue in cheek, but, you know, it's like, if and when I get to that point, I don't want to be paid. I don't want somebody to have the same pay as me if they're not generating as much buzz. They're not selling as many tickets. They're not moving as many units.
Dog, listen. You can sit there and you can have all those people in the crowd. Now, I'm going to make my song. I'm going to go in the crowd and I'm going to have like 12 people, but I better get the same amount you get, bro.
Exactly. Because you know what this is? I'll give you an example. DJ, you remember when Ryback said that? You remember when Ryback said he thinks that the winners and the losers in wrestling should get paid the same amount?
I remember that. That was the best thing I've ever heard in my life.
And everybody's sitting there like, but wait. His reasoning was they're told to win and lose. Okay, but here's the thing, Ryback. There's a reason they're told to win and lose. There's a reason Steve Blackman didn't beat Steve Austin on Raw. There's a reason for that. So it's like, I mean, like I said, I'm all for equal opportunity. I am not all for equal pay. I'll just sum it up like that.
I mean, that's what it boils down to at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong. They won 4 championships. They've done everything that you would think that would give them that type of money. But the flip side of that, if you're not bringing in the money, I can't give you that money.
Yeah,
you know, it's plain and simple. I mean, there's nowhere else around that. DJ, you got anything on top of that?
Well, you basically took part of what I was going to say.
Hey, great minds think alike.
I'm like the numbers. At the end of the day, the numbers do speak for themselves. And like you can't really get over the fact that the men overall throughout FIFA internationally bring in more than the women. So the numbers don't add up. But if you separate the international field and just look at what's under the U.S. national team, the whole organization, you got to at least up the amount that the women are being paid. I think even though it's not going to equal out, but you got to increase the percentage.
Yes.
I'm like, you have to reward this team, and that's all you can base it on is rewarding this team for the success that they have had. You can't put the two genders against each other and say, well, they're making this much. Well, since we play soccer too, we should be making just as much as they are. No,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's not even because it's like comparing Ronda Rousey to John Jones. They don't fight each other. They fight different genders. The style is different. There's a different demographic. There's a different fan base.
The demand is different.
Yeah, so
the people who are going to open their wallets for that fight or that event is different from the male event.
Hey, you didn't see Ronda Rousey out there riding that equal pay horse because she was getting paid. She was getting paid big time. But that's because the demand was there. That's because she moved the needle as far as
right.
You know,
it was at one
like her product and her brand was better than most of the men in the UFC.
Absolutely,
exactly.
That's how she proved herself.
Absolutely. And you know what? Here's another caveat. I think if the WNBA pushed Brittany Griner as their best player, they would get more fans. Because all they got to do is show the highlight clips of her dunking in the past. But we've gone over this before as far as their whole advertising scheme. It's just awful. I mean, you see one WNBA
when the NBA is not really it's actually a WNBA separate marketing team, but it's just like they're not pushing as much. But I wonder how much financially they're working with.
And the other thing,
the amount of money they have does affect that too.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my question, DJ. It's like, okay, the revenue to me is an interesting topic because they got to turn the lights on in those big arenas.
Yeah.
So they got to have some money. So the question is, where's it going? Because it's not going to advertising.
No, I think they may just need a new CBA.
And people are really running with this whole Westbrook and Harden fighting over. Yeah. I'm like, what? Wow.
Harden is very chill. And honestly,
he's been looking for help. He's openly said this. Remember the time when everyone was hurt? And he was like, I only do this because I have to.
And let's be honest. I mean, like I talked about.
He didn't have to. He wouldn't do it.
Chris Paul can't get by people no more. He can't. Russell Westbrook is. I mean, his whole thing is just driving by people, head of steam to the rack.
Mm-hmm.
And he can throw those lobs to Capella just as well as Chris Paul can throw those lobs to Capella.
A lot of people think that James Harden is like some ball dominant basketball.
No,
he had to be ball dominant.
He's the quietest superstar I've ever seen. You rarely hear this man even speak.
He had to be ball dominant. He had to be ball dominant because of the injuries.
I rashed the man. I definitely rashed the man because his style of play, I hate it. And flopping, but also the ISO game to me is I hate it, but I know, but the other reason I'm frustrated is because I know how he can play. I've seen it on OKC. I've seen it in the Drew League. I've seen it other spots. So to know how he can play off ball and then to see how he plays on Houston, it's an eyesore. So now with Westbrook, this creates a whole different dynamic because now you got another guy who can average 27. Chris Paul ain't averaging no 27 points. But now you got Russell Westbrook who can get you over the hump in the West. I mean, I think it puts him right there in the thick of things, man. They kept their whole base roster. PJ Tucker's still there. Eric Gordon's still there. They ain't giving up none of them as far as what I've seen.
No, it looked like they're just straight up giving up draft picks. From what I didn't see no other players in that trade.
So Houston wins as long as they don't have Russell Westbrook standing in the corner for 30 minutes a game.
Right. Yeah. Once again, I mean, it was they got Chris Paul for 2 first-round picks and pick swaps in 21 and 25. They're players.
Okay, TD said
unless if it comes out later that there's gonna be players, but as right now it's just 2 picks and 2 pick swaps.
TD said, let's be honest. if the WNBA had more sexy females in it, more people would watch.
They're playing a sport. They're not there for their looks.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. There are
lesbians anyway, so
there are. But here's the other thing: there are a lot of attractive females in the league. The thing is,
when they're playing, they're not gonna look attractive.
They're not gonna. Well, that's one major thing. But the other major thing is a lot.
I just don't understand. I just don't understand the whole. Like, if they were doing something that required their beauty, then fine. But playing ball doesn't require somebody to look good.
But see,
that shit out of here.
But you know what though, and DJ, we've personally seen this though. We've seen this in the WWE.
I'm gonna be looking. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna look.
We've seen this in the WWE.
Why would you be looking? Why are you being quiet? Somebody nearby?
Uh-oh.
Chris.
Because you got quiet all of a sudden.
My wife is right here. My wife is right here. My wife is right here, and I'm gonna tell her right now, babe. You hear me, right? If the WNBA,
you hit her.
WNBA, if the WNBA had better looking women, I would watch the WNBA.
No, that ain't what you just said. You said you be looking.
Yeah,
that ain't what you said.
All right.
I'm being honest. I'm telling you right
okay, now. But here's the thing. Like I said, me and DJ have seen this in the WWE. We've seen a transformation from models posing as wrestlers.
Well, I mean, I was around that time too, so I do understand that. I watch wrestling.
To wrestlers. Like they're wrestlers. I mean, Becky Lynch is not the most attractive female in the world. She is attractive, but she's not a model. But people don't watch it for that. Well, at least the real wrestling fans don't. So I think if the real basketball fans watch WNBA.
Now see, I can't sign on to that, Doug Thomas. You're trying to get me in trouble. He said give lingerie for a uniform. He's trying to
All right. He's
trying to get me in trouble.
All right.
When sometime last year we were watching the lingerie football league or the Legends football league? When did you say you?
I know Doug Thomas. I know.
No, we're just messing. But no, I ain't been watching the lingerie football. I put up a few clips on Twitter because it was hitting like men.
So that means you had to watch it.
I mean, I was on Twitter. I mean, I was like, look at that.
I was on Twitter.
Put up clips while watching them too.
Yeah, it was on Twitter, man. So I was like, look at these.
It was on Twitter. Oh, that's your excuse. That's like peer pressure back in the day.
VF's like, VF's sitting there like CFL or women in panties.
I
can bet there's a sweat pouring down his face right now. He's standing right there too.
Oh my god!
Hold on. What the hell does got to do with equal pay?
This got a lot to do with equal pay because TD was the one that brought up this whole topic in the first place. But I think it's an interesting dynamic. I don't think it has to do with them being attractive. I think it has to do with not enough people still knowing when the WNBA starts.
Yeah.
For example,
what channels
they're on.
It's very bad advertisement. They're almost as borderline as the AAF was.
Well, here's another thing. Look at their TV deal. Their TV deal is awful. Okay, there's
a new one.
Well, yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me B5. If they have just 12 teams and they're struggling with, I'm not saying they're struggling with money, but they're making only but so much. What would expand? Are you thinking about expand? Like if you were to expand the teams, you think that's going to be better? That's more money that has to be spread out.
No, because here's the thing. I talked about decreasing the number of teams in the NBA because the quality of basketball would increase and you would have less useless ass games with bad teams. Mm-hmm. So the WNBA is better with these with the
somebody had to step away. He probably got grabbed by his ear. It was like,
baby, you know I ain't mean that.
What
baby,
you know I ain't mean
that. No, that wasn't lingerie football on the DVR.
Nah, that was legacy football.
That was a new football joke.
That was actually a commercial break.
But nah, I mean, it's one of those things. Like, no, they should have less teams because the competition is better with less teams. Mm-hmm. The teams and even now with 12 teams, there are a lot of teams. But how can it be?
Okay,
go ahead.
I'm just. Are you saying it's boring with only 12? So you mean having more teams with the talent spread out is going to make it more exciting? That doesn't make any sense. That's backwards.
Quality of basketball would decrease because I've seen good teams get blown out by the great teams in the NBA, in the WNBA this year. The Las Vegas Aces have destroyed certain teams this year. And that's with only 12 teams, which means basically every team has a star player. Every team has a go-to number 2 for the most part. I mean, the issue is this year, I think, Taurasi has been hurt. Breonna Stewart got hurt. Maya Moore took a year off. So it's one of those situations. Skylar Diggins took a year off.
Yeah, you got a league where women will get pregnant. They're going to be, and they're going to be gone. So
the thing is, they gotta find a way to make new stars. But you can't make new stars if you keep depending on the Diana Taurasi's and the Sue Birds and the Candace Parkers. Their time is come and gone, and it's no knock against them. But their time, as far as carrying the league on their back, it's come and gone, man. You got to make new stars. I mean, what we talk about it once again. I go back to wrestling because the situation is so similar. People talk about Vince relying on the part-timers that had their day. That's the WNBA. They don't have any new stars. Yeah.
Well, I look at it like this. At this rate, First and Framerates may take place from the couch next week.
I know, right? Or the damn garage. you got to bring a mobile hotspot out to the garage. You might cut them off the Wi-Fi too. Oh, all right, man. I'm back. I bet you are.
No, I had to take. No, man, y'all tripping, man. Y'all been calling me, man. No, man. I had to take the baby downstairs, man. My wife about to go to bed, man. Y'all tripping, man.
Oh, man. But here's another example. I'll give y'all another example. Women's tennis. Now, granted, when Serena Williams isn't playing,
Serena Williams.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Serena Williams, but the thing is, these tournaments have so much prestige that, like, regardless if Serena's winning, they're still bringing decent ratings. Obviously, they're way better with Serena. Yeah,
but to tell you the truth,
with
what? This podcast got more people in the wow. Oh, no.
TD ain't shit, man.
Hey, but hey, you want to know the difference, though, TD? Is if we were having a live show, we wouldn't go and book Madison Square Garden knowing that only like 12, 13 motherfuckers going to show up. WNBA will have a regular season game in Madison Square Garden Staples Center thinking they're going to sell the motherfucker out. Ain't going to happen.
All right, so B5, you would rather watch a trash league with 30 teams or a good quality play with 12 teams?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you're going to see a lot more games in terrible basketball. All these teams, all these major sports, think about it. All the major sports with 32 teams, what happens? You have so many throwaway games throughout the year. Why is the NFL so great? Because they only have 16 games per year, and you get a situation in each division where it's coming down to the wire, and yes, you've seen these teams play already, but you're still interested because they're both really good and they're vying for something. So it's not bad to see teams play each other a bunch of times when it's quality basketball. I don't want to see an expansion team that sucks play anybody. Who's going to watch the Charlotte Hornets and the Atlanta Hawks? Tell me who.
Yeah.
That's the result of having 30 teams in your league. Who's going to watch the New York Knicks this year against the Charlotte Hornets? Anybody? That's not a season ticket holder. There's a reason why I said.
Or wasn't ejected by Dolan.
Oh, well, fuck that guy. And you know what? Let me get on James Dolan for a second, because we didn't talk about this on the podcast. What is it? That was the most unsmooth way to kick somebody out. He said, how would you not like to come to any more games?
I thought we already talked about this on the podcast.
Yeah, we did.
We talked about it a few podcasts ago. Thanks to the playlist that we now have, we can refer back to.
You know what? We're about to go to the next topic with this vote.
I think we covered equal.
No. Once again, I think this whole equal pay, like I said, another topic that just went all over the place, and it a lot of good ideas. I think at the end of the day, it's about money.
TD, I think RJ Barrett's
Mhm.
ass.
Oh,
Whoa, he picked up his score in the last few summer league games. So
that's
Yeah, but
just hold
I've
off on
seen
that.
him at Duke,
I
and
I
I've
attribute it
seen.
to jitters and stuff like that.
He wasn't
It
scared to
is the
shoot the
summer league.
ball.
Shooters are gonna shoot the ball. That's the.
He ain't a shooter. He's a
let's,
head case. That's
Oh
what he
wow.
is. But
Oh,
no,
yeah.
let's make that another title because I think the summer league next week will be a great topic. We could touch on a lot of different things. We could cover more because we'll get a bigger aspect of everything that has happened in the summer league. With
that's one more reason WNBA could be taking advantage, but aren't. The fact is, Zion Williamson ain't playing in the summer league, which is automatically going to tank their ratings.
right, exactly. Hold on one second. Let's talk.
Who's to say the additional teams will be garbage? Well, are you going to force the existing teams to have an expansion draft and get rid of their best players?
Good question.
Every expansion team in the history of life in any basketball league has turned out to be ass in the first season.
All right, someone's going to have to fill me in on the GTA.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about either.
Scandal because I
All
don't know much about that.
All right, if you don't know anything about G2A, I know it's probably a little bit out of you guys' spectrum. I know Pooh knows about G2A. He knows a lot about it. G2A is a site where you can go and buy keys for PC games. You can buy codes for PC games. You can get them for very cheap. You can there's instances where I bought a $60 game on G2A for maybe $3. But G2A has a scandal going on because G2A has been notorious for selling. They've been selling stolen Steam keys, stolen games from Steam. What happens is you have a bot that will get all these keys from a stolen credit card.
Wait a minute, hold on. Is Jimmy B Gaming involved?
Hold on.
We hear he been botting, so.
All right, this is what's going on. Somebody takes a stolen credit card, goes on Steam, buys a whole bunch of keys of the same game. Come back, go to G2A.com, and they will sell those keys at a lower price. G2A had nobody, they claimed they didn't know anything about it. This has been going on for years. I built my PC back in 2013. I've been using G2A for a long time. It's well known that G2A is a place to get really cheap games. Well, apparently they're cheap because they've been, stolen games. Well, some indie developers got involved, and indie developers got some of their games stolen for G2A. And indie developers don't make that much money off their games. Yeah, you can do this to The Witcher 3, you can do this to Assassin's Creed, you can do this to NBA 2K. You can do this for a lot of games that has a big budget, but these indie games don't have it. So when their keys got stolen, they basically came out and said, look, we rather for not you to buy the games off G2A, because once people found out that their credit card was stolen, the developers have to give the money back to the person who stole their credit card plus other fees, because when your credit card is stolen, they found out that they purchased their game, they have to refund it and all that. So these indie developers say, hey, look, don't go to G2A, just pirate the game. So that's where Pooh comes in. He pirate the game.
Damn.
They say they rather for you to pirate the game instead of them having to refund people plus pay credit card and fraudulent fees. Well, G2A has been getting a lot of backlash because of that, and now it's gotten to the point where other people in the press was talking about it, and G2A went out and tried to get some people from the press to say good things about them so they won't get this bad press. So I'm going to pull up this article right here, and I just find this amazing that they actually did this. And basically what it says is G2A employee tried to pay press for favorable coverage. So I find this like egregious. And Southern Fried Chicken, what is that? Well, anyway, An employee of G2A, which runs the marketplace that sells game key codes, attempted to secretly pay 10 different journalists for favorable coverage of their company. Let's see what else is actually worth talking about. It approaches that the 10th anniversary having difficulties proving to consumers and game developers that its marketplace, a source for discounted game codes, is a legitimate line of business. Accusations of fraud had dogged the platform since its inception more than 5 years ago. Public perception got so bad that it was offered to open the catalog to independent auditors and clear the air. No word that the game developers have taken them up on that offer. So basically, if you keep on scrolling down, you can talk about it. Talks about where they went to different journalists to say, "Hey, we will pay you to, you know, say good things about us, so we won't get this backlash that we're receiving now." Also, it got to the point where G2A put these emails. They tried to clear their name on Twitter. They say that these emails were sent by an employee without authorization, for which we apologize. To some indie games, I guess that's um, a journalist site, and 9 other media outlets that he sent this proposal to. He'll face strict consequences as this is absolutely unacceptable. Now, with that tweet right there, it just sounds like it's, it just sounds like it sounds paper thin. So, I just want to know what you guys think about these guys trying to go through their damnness to cover up this scandal, because it looks like they could be in some really big trouble. It doesn't matter who wants to go first.
You can go to Jeff if you want.
I know this is PC
You
gaming.
really, you really want me to go on this one?
I mean, I don't have much.
Even though I have like a low running PC, so I really, it's really hard to come up with a thought on this, because I'm like, it is bad, but yeah, they need to handle that. That's my thoughts. They need to handle that.
So, I mean, what you mean by handling it when they're already out here just basically saying that they want the media to cover for them, and they tried to pay off journalists to cover for them. So it's basically saying that they're somewhat guilty.
Well, then I'm like, they have to keep it up. They have to keep up with that same message. Because if they're just admitting their guilt, then
I mean, this is similar to like saying that PlayStation 4 already has a problem with their credit card fraud, and PlayStation's going out to IGN, or they're going to GameSpot, or they're going to, I don't even think Screw Attack is still open or running. Going to any of those places and tell them, hey, look, tell these people that this is not what's happening. Not only that, we'll pay you to say it. It's basically the same thing.
Mm.
What are your thoughts, Bills?
Well, I know. Well, I look at it like this. Let me relate it to recently with PSN's security breach. I know a lot of us have taken our credit card information off of PSN because of it. Again, if I want to relate this to that, then I would say they would have to put up more security measures. Maybe redo their ethics policy, because it is an ethics violation as far as this whole thing is concerned. So yeah, they're gonna roll out the marketing, the reporting. Yeah, we're sorry, we didn't know about this. It's wrong. Get out in front of it. But on the back end, yeah, they're gonna have to change how they're gonna have to change how they do business. They're gonna have to change their policies concerning their ethics and how point-to-point transactions work. And some people are gonna get fired.
Yeah, I mean, even
I'm like, this person in particular, whoever the employee was, he should be fired. He or she should be fired. I'm not gonna say it's just a man.
Well, I mean,
it could be they, for all I know.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure. Yeah, here it is right here. Check out where they're from. They're a Hong Kong-based company. So who do you think actually is going to get fired? Let's be honest.
Yeah, somebody's getting fired.
And
that one's supposed to get out.
Once again, it's a Hong Kong-based company. Like
it's funny. It's Polish owned.
Yeah, I get it, but let's think about it.
That's kind of
Bill's like I said, like this is in Hong Kong. Like who's This is not a United States traded company. It's from overseas. Who's going to get fired? I mean, I don't even think their laws even care about shit like this.
I think this happens all the time, and I think it happens in other walks of gaming. As far as I think game developers, um, I can see it through IGN. They're so biased the way they report on certain games, and I think that this happens very often, but this just happened to leak out. I think it's no different than players being paid in the NCAA. I think it happens a lot, and I think that just certain stories seep out. Um, I can't really say I see an issue with it. Trying to kind of damage control what's happening with your company. Um, I guess you got to try something. If you're not trying to garner some sort of positive reinforcement about your company, then you're not really doing your job as an employee. I don't think, at least that's how they view it. So I don't have an issue with it morally. I just think that it's a really bad scandal that when it does seep out about a given company, it's hard to recover from that because you can fire the guy, but then it's a question of like, well, who else is doing it?
No, this is my thing. I think they should fire the person who put this out. Don't get me wrong. Who put out the email to try to pay off, but the actual you got to understand, this is a P2P, site where they're selling game keys.
I
And
think he could be a scapegoat though,
yeah,
because I think he could have been directed to do this.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But I'm talking about the actual selling of the keys. I mean, like
Yeah,
a peer-to-peer or P2P is basically like I can get the keys, I'll put them on the website, you can go buy them.
yeah.
That doesn't necessarily have anything to do with G2A per se. They just need to police what's coming on the website. And it's very hard for them to say, okay, I don't know if these keys are legit or fraudulent because it came from an outside source. So it G2A kind of has their hands tied as far as how to run their business. They just have to be, really strapped down on who sells what, because it's very, like I said, if I get a stolen credit card and I buy a bunch of keys for NBA 2K20 and I bought them off of a fraudulent credit card, I got like 60 keys. I get on the site and I sell all those keys for $15. Or if I sell them all for $30. Yeah, everybody's going to buy it, but they don't know if that's from a legit Steam owner or what. They need to do a better job of trying to lock that down. But like TD just said, it is to maintain credibility for the company. Yeah, the cover this email thing, yes, but the actual selling of the keys, that's going to be very tough to to deal with. I don't know how I don't even know how they get around that. I just thought it was interesting because like, who's to say this won't happen somewhere else? I mean, somebody takes a credit card, buys a bunch of video games, a bunch of keys for, or a bunch of codes for Grand Theft Auto 6, and they go on G2A because they do other games, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One games as well. They do GTA 6 and they just sell those for like, $25. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how would they know? I think G2A is set up a website that really put them in a bind.
Yo, these people on the internet.
Or what they say?
So somebody was like, Steven Adams is probably like, you mean I don't have to box out and give away rebounds anymore? Jeez. It's funny because people called me crazy when I was like, does it not look like the OKC players are just moving out of the way? Everybody's like, what are you talking about? No, those triple doubles are legitimate.
No, you see that tweet that I posted in the chat?
Let me look.
In our chat?
Oh no, I ain't see it. Let me look. Yeah, but Bills, before DJ came along, we talked about the triple doubles Westbrook was getting, and we said the same thing. Like, he feel like they're just getting out of the way so he can get his numbers.
I see the tweet now. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna post it in the main. There we go.
It's like it's pretty obvious that they were helping him get those triple doubles, and also the other thing is, would Russell Westbrook be able to do this with all the 10 rebounds per game centers of the 80s? Of the 90s? I don't see it.
That's a good question.
I mean, I hate to compare eras, but come on. I mean, Magic Johnson was a more complete basketball player than Russell Westbrook, and Magic Johnson wasn't getting triple doubles at the clip that Russell Westbrook gets him, and he was playing alongside Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and James Worthy and guys like that,
Right.
and Bob McAdoo, who averaged 25 and 10 in his prime.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I mean, obviously, I want to see how that plays out if they're going to actually do that. I doubt it. I think the triple doubles with Russell Westbrook may be over. Maybe. Enough of
Yeah.
from the scandal. We kind of got our point across on that. I think it's some bullshit. You want to talk about NBA 2K19 bills? The floor is yours.
Where do I begin? I haven't been able to enjoy 2K on default for a lot of years. And this year, 2K19, I've said it. I'm not going to hold back on it. I'm not going to go back on what I said. I do think it's the greatest basketball game of all time. But it just goes to show that as great as the game is, to me, there's still a lot of room for improvement. And I think a lot of it is defensive AI issues. The help defense logic is just certain times just seems broken within the pick and.
You said it's on default, right?
Yeah, but even with my sliders, it's still
Okay.
just. I've been fighting with it. I mean, I've gone into quick edit and I've kind of put everybody's help defense IQ up a little bit, and it's helped a little bit. But I mean, they have a lot of work to do. I mean, then you have the ice skating as far as the player movement. The players don't seem as grounded as they should.
B5 said KD and Ibaka should go to Houston for the reunion.
Well, I mean, it's kind of late at this point.
Yeah,
for that.
late for that.
but nah, it's like I don't know, like 2K19, and then I have the whole issue offensively with how players attack the basket is just very perplexing to me at times. The players that should be far more aggressive attacking the basket, they just really aren't as aggressive. And I don't know. It's just there's certain things that you would expect an everyday NBA player to do that they just don't do offensively and defensively. So it just kind of bothers me that I have to make a roster, and then when I go through all this work to get that roster done, then it's like something else pops up that starts to stick out. And I admitted this. It might have been that I've played the game a lot because I have about 24, 25 days worth of gameplay.
I think I'm starting to feel like you. Well, I ain't gonna say starting to feel like I kind of knew this for a while, and this is referring to another game. Y'all know how much I love the original Xbox, and I've been playing Madden 08 on the original Xbox, but that game is way too easy for me now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's been like that for a few years now, and I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, because it's just 2K as great as their freelance system is, and
it replicates the sport very well. It just has it has its mishaps to where you can once you see it, it makes the game really broken because
they have all the tools in the game as far as the mechanics. They have them all in there. There's not one mechanic I can name in basketball that they don't have in that I say yes, they need to absolutely positively put that in. But how they work and how the computer uses them is my issue because a lot of the things they don't utilize. For example, the computer barely ever throws bounce passes. Have y'all noticed that?
No, yeah, I noticed that. And it's funny. It's funny because in live 10, the players play like they're supposed to. So the pass first point guards will bounce pass when needed.
Yeah.
And you would think that in 2K, hell, I can't even think of the last 2K that actually did that, to be honest with you. And nobody thinks about it.
The computer doesn't really use bounce passes. They don't really try to use the glass. These are all things that NBA 2K11 had. And that's without going in and editing a roster, because this is way before I edited rosters. You're talking NBA 2K11. They had all these things. The players being more grounded. They feel way too just. It feels like they're ice skating at times. And another thing that gets me is the defensive players don't understand distance. The offensive players don't understand distance and proximity to a defender. They try to shoot shots right in somebody's face and get blocked.
They know all about spacing when you're on a fast break though, because don't get me wrong, it's improved, but they still keep running to the corner of the damn court.
Yes.
Sometimes you have it where they do it right, and then it'll be the times when you really least expect it, they run to the edge of the court.
And that's the thing. It's like a lot of guys that shouldn't be leaking out to the 3-point line on a fast break end up doing it. Exactly. And it stops fast breaks. And you could go and put it to 0 for every single person as far as the tendency. But the logic is not there. The help defense is egregious at times, especially on pick and rolls. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've just thrown the same alley-oop up. Ice for pick and rolls doesn't work. It seems like whatever pick and roll defense I pick for my team, it seems like they don't execute it. So there's a lot of things. Like I said, yes, it's still, as far as content, the greatest basketball game ever released.
I can agree.
But even with that, and part of this goes to their roster guy. Because
I'm not touching that.
What the hell is he doing?
I'm not touching that because it's I'm not. That's a whole different subject. I'm not even.
I mean, great when he initially got there, but he's been sleeping ever since.
It's like they have so many tendencies. You can't even keep track of them. You have play discipline, which is basically how often superstars basically improvise and ignore the play. You have how many touches a guy gets, how prone he is to shooting, all these things, and you see a lot of them untouched. And I'm not even going to touch on the legendary rosters, the classic teams, because that's an abomination. I'll just touch on the NBA rosters that they're supposed to be updating throughout the year.
It's just Doug Thomas. I don't want you to think that we're necessarily bad.
No.
We still think this is a great game. The problem,
of course,
we do see some areas where when we play it so much, you get to see what the problems are, and there's no game that's perfect.
No, but here's the thing. Live 19, and people are gonna kill me for this, and I really don't give a fuck. Live 19's AI is great. If NBA 2K19 had lives AI, I'd be fine. And this is without tendencies. Live doesn't have any tendencies in place. This is how the game came out of the box playing. AI is great. You pick a defense, pick and roll.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
The game does what you tell it to do.
Yes.
I'm not going to necessarily say that the AI is better than 2, because when we're talking about AI, we're going to look at the whole picture, like the emotions, the tendencies, what they do as far as on the court. Yeah, they have rocks for brains at times, but Live does well is like when you tell them to do something, they're going to do it. And I think that's a big plus, because sometimes you have some players that, like you said, on a fast break, common basketball sense tell you to do what? Go to the rim, fill the lane, go to the rim. They go to the outside, and this guy's not even a 3-point shooter. Hell, he's not even a mid-range shooter, and he's running to the 3.
Yeah. So that's the thing with Live is it's like on the 2K side, you lose the AI aspect, but you have all the gameplay mechanics, and they look great, right? But then in Live, the gameplay mechanics are fucked up, but the AI, especially with help defense. I mean, God, I've seen double teams come from baseline. I've seen just amazing. There's never been a time I've played Live 19 and said, what was that guy doing? Never. They do need to fix, I guess, how these players go for, like when they're passing, they make a lot of stupid passes. But 2K has that too.
I'm about to put a tweet in.
I'm
about to put a tweet in the DM, and I'm going to give it. I'm going to show it to you guys so y'all can see it. This is. I will admit, now this is a good tweet about Russell and James.
Like I don't mean to come across like I hate the game, because I don't hate the game, but from a person who basketball is my favorite sport, when I see an opportunity and I think it's squandered, as far as the AI, it frustrates me because a lot of it goes into the person doing the ratings and the tendencies. I just, you got guys like Jokic whose passing vision is like low.
Right.
And and another person, I don't know if you've noticed this, DJ. What the hell have they done to Jeff Green?
Look at this tweet. I think this is funny.
I'm looking at it now.
Doug, tell me, no. Live 19 is actually a pretty decent game. No joke. It's pretty good. But look at this tweet, everybody. This is funny.
Oh.
That's a good one.
Oh no.
That's
a good one. I can't lie. That's a good one.
That's something else. But no, I mean, like I said, I don't mean to hammer on the game. These are just things that I've noticed, over the course of playing the game that they need to improve. I think AI.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. VF, whose profile is up behind that?
Oh, that's a girl. Some girl on Twitter. Her name is Boo You Whore. Your guess as good as mine.
What? That's her name, Boo You. Yo.
Yes, it is. And I just pulled up the tweet. Now I don't know who she is. I just saw it on my timeline. I just thought the tweet was funny.
You know what's funny? A lot of people don't know where that GIF is from. Do y'all know where that GIF is from?
I don't know.
It's not making the
I
band,
have no
is
idea.
it?
So Diddy's on this show called The Four.
Okay.
It's a singing competition. So it's from there. So basically what ended up happening was this dude performed and thought he was the shit. Diddy stared him down and told him he wasn't making it through. He had that look on his face staring him down, and Diddy's like, "The fuck you gonna do about it?" And then that's where the tweet came from. Right. And it's funny because I automatically knew that was gonna be a GIF. And then, of course, it turned out to be like
if you think about it and you look at the two staring at each other. I can see Russ and James Harden doing this shit though.
Bro, just imagine them lined up on lined up for the free throws, and they're about to box out.
No, Bills, it's even worse. They're not even at the free throw line. They're back where the guards are.
Oh God, yeah, and they're about to run in.
Yeah, they're about to run in.
Oh
man, you might as well just show them the tweet I had put in there.
Yeah.
Should bring that one up.
When Russ sees Capella and PJ.
Yeah.
All right, this another one that DJ put up. Says when Russell see Capella and PJ tuck in the paint, trying to get rebound.
Columbus scored. Jeez.
But yeah, I mean, 2K19, it's a great game, but just oh God.
Fucking skedaddle.
Yeah, that's a good one. I had
Yo. Especially Capella.
Right.
No, that's funny.
Motherfucker, your job is to catch alley-oops.
I'm gonna go back and start watching all those videos they did with that puppet. That was a funny ass shit.
So I got a question. What are your thoughts about DJ? I already know your thoughts about 2K19. You still play my league, right?
I really played that much. I think I've kind of fallen out of it because it's late in the year, and I've been really just playing, NHL every now and then, working on those sliders and of course No Man's Sky. So
okay. What else you got, Bills?
So I'm watching. I have baseball on in the background, and I have to ask this question because this is a big discussion in baseball.
Go Braves!
Yes, they're playing really well this year.
Yes.
So are the Nats.
Oh yeah, they are too.
The Nats have caught fire. Well, hopefully it doesn't taper off after the All-Star break, but they're in a wild card spot right now.
So my question: they've been talking about the amount of home runs, the increase in the amount of home runs this year, and they're talking about the balls being juiced and there's a different type of baseball. What's y'all's view on that? Because me personally, I'm loving it. This brings me back to the steroid era.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, this would be the second time in about a couple of decades that this has been brought up.
Right.
Where the balls have been juiced or whatnot. I'm like, why don't we just call it for what it is? It's because of global warming. It's because areas of the country are warmer now. Now balls are just flying out everywhere. It wasn't just flying out in Colorado. It's flying out everywhere now.
Well, how about the fact that they're making hitters ballparks?
Oh, wait, hold up. Breaking news. We got a fight in Columbus. I got NHL playing in the background. And Pittsburgh's up 3-1, and a fight just broke out.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that's crazy.
But no, I mean...
I'm going to put it like this.
Yeah.
I need to find out if the balls are juiced, don't let us know. Let us keep speculating. Long as there's nobody on steroids, I'm good.
Well, they're already kind of trying to like try to trick people. They're like, oh, you know, we're investigating. No, y'all did it on purpose. You know your ratings were down.
Chris Letang got knocked the fuck out.
The only people who are complaining about the amount of home runs are the baseball purists, the same people who bitch when anybody celebrates. They're the same people. Well, I hate the fact there's so many home runs in the game. Then don't watch.
Right.
Because there are plenty of casual fans who are saying, oh, shit, a 5-0 game in the third inning? I want to watch.
These are the same guys who used to watch Paul Molitor and shit.
Exactly. They're the same people. Well, Nolan Ryan. Look at Nolan Ryan. He's so amazing. Nobody can hit off him.
Right. Who was that? Who's that other guy that used to hit opposite all the time? Like he always put the ball in the opposite side of the field.
Tony Gwynn?
Not Gwynn. He was one of them. It was a white guy.
It had to be Tony Gwynn. Well,
Gwynn was one of them. It was another guy. He was white. I can't remember. I was gonna say
white guy.
There was a white guy. I would say it's not Wade Boggs.
Not Cal Ripken.
Not Ripken. Dang, I can't.
Not Jim Thome?
No, Jim Thome was a power hitter. I'm talking about a guy who used to hit like he's always hit like base hits to the opposite side of the field.
I know Ichiro did it a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't Ichiro. That would have been obviously he played around the same time Paul Molitor did.
These motherfuckers, they're the same people who like watching Greg Maddux pitch a 1-0 game every day. No,
I don't have a problem with it. It's just that
I'll have an issue with it every once in a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everyone, if I see like 5, 8, 10 straight games of like 14-12, I'm like, all right, wait a minute.
Because here's my thing. There ain't no football on right now. There ain't no basketball on right now. So if I'm gonna watch baseball, I want to be entertained.
Right.
Which means
baseball technically was never meant to entertain folks in the way that football, basketball, hockey.
No, I agree.
Does.
No, I agree. But I'm saying I think they need to take advantage of what is going on right now.
Yeah, long as nobody's being juiced up with steroids, I think they should.
Hey, I'm all for steroids. Fuck it. Everybody has access to them. That's why it's like the players back then. Well, you know, he's cheating. How's he cheating? You have access to him too. You choose not to do it. That's on you.
And I will never. They still have to hit the ball.
And they still Barry Bonds still had to hit the ball. Rafael Palmeiro still had to hit the ball. Roger Clemens still had to locate his pitches.
Rafael Palmeiro, I couldn't even tell a difference.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, Sammy Sosa. Well, Sammy Sosa kind of sucked when he was on steroids.
And now he's white.
Like white as shit.
Now he's white. I know, motherfucker look like Jackie Wilson from the 60s.
Transracial.
But no, it's, like I said, I think baseball needs to take advantage of it. This is the most interested I've been in baseball, other than obviously when the Red Sox are good. You know, most times they are. But this is the most interested I've been in baseball as a whole in a long time. Probably since I was a kid. So.
Shoot, I do love pitchers.
Pitchers duels are great.
I'm surprised at where the Nationals are.
Pitchers duels are different from people who just can't hit.
Here's the thing, Doug Thomas. I completely agree, but here's the thing. I don't want a pitcher's duel with the fourth guy in the fucking rotation. I'm sorry. I don't care about that. Now, Bumgarner versus Kershaw, I'm all in.
But like I said, there's a difference between a pitcher's duel and players that just can't hit.
Of course.
They're two different things.
Of course. I mean, and I don't find it, you know, a coincidence that they were talking about the low ratings a couple of years ago, and here goes the uptick in home runs. I mean, it's not like people are hitting the ball further and further and further than they ever have before. They're just, and the other thing is, you got to take advantage of the fact that these players evolve. These players, they talk about the launch angles and, launch angles. Yeah, you can talk about that. You can talk about the velocity, the exit velocity of, the bat speed they're generating. But another thing you got to look at, these guys they have quicker hands, quicker wrists. They're more powerful. They start at such a young age. Now, even younger than, y'all's era, my era.
Mm-hmm.
And, you had the Yankees just signed a great prospect at the age of 16. He's already a prodigy. These are the things that happen. The game evolves, just like the NBA, just like the NFL. The game evolves. So, Major League Baseball needs to take advantage of it. They go basically unopposed for 90% of their season. Take advantage of it. Because maybe instead of saying I'm not going to watch sports from the months of June to August, I'll say, fuck it, I'll watch baseball.
All right.
Look at what happened in Home Run Derby. People complained about that.
Yeah, that's true.
That was, Vladimir Guerrero and Pete Alonso put on a show, but Vladimir Guerrero and John Peterson put on a crazy show. They tied 3 times. Bellinger or Yelich, who you got? I got Yelich. Right now, I got Yelich. Now, in a year, Bellinger's still improving. He's still getting better. But Yelich is just, I don't know, man. He's on another level right now. DJ, you want to weigh in on that?
I have nothing on that one because baseball is what it is. I'm like, they've maintained to stick with their core audience when it comes to the sport. So I don't.
No, I was talking about the question Doug Thomas asked. He said, "Would you rather Bellinger or Yelich right now? Who you got?"
I don't even know who they are.
Cody Bellinger's he plays for the Dodgers, lefty, rakes it. Yelich is a dude that's been in the league for a few years now, that's kind of coming into his own now. He basically leads the league.
I don't know enough about them two to really be able to decide which one.
Okay.
Because I'm like, really, with the Nationals at first, I wasn't really paying attention to baseball that much. My interest in baseball really runs through the Nationals. It really,
that's kind of how I am. Right.
I'm going to be interested. If they're not, then
that's I was really with the Braves. I'm kind of the same with the Braves.
So to ask about players, I'm like, normally I would know about, like, if this were for me, baseball, since I'm a former player myself, it always had this interest to watch throughout the whole season. But now it's just like I only watch at certain points. So I know I'm not going to really know about like certain players specifically until I start tuning in. And then by then, it's really based on the Nationals now. And right now they're in it. So I'm paying attention. I'm like, oh, here we go. I didn't expect them to really do this. I was really thinking about just taking this whole season off and not pay attention to the league, not one bit.
Have y'all ever seen the undisputed best player in the league so terribly marketed? Like Mike Trout?
No, I've seen that in MLB. I was about to say the MLB has been doing that for decades, yo.
That's what I'm saying. It's always their sport.
Yeah, it's like at least since the late 90s. Yeah. At least since the late 90s they've been doing it.
The dude is the best player of his generation. It's not close. If you look at his stats, he's already a Hall of Famer.
And you see, not only that, even when you had the home run situation in 98, they didn't even put those guys on the forefront. They did it themselves by doing home runs. They didn't even push it. They didn't know how to push it. In other words, the MLB did not put that whole historical run to the forefront. It was them doing it themselves.
If they want to go back to being America's pastime, they better take advantage of what's happening right now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they're fine. They're good at what they're doing.
Well, they're fine right now. They're fine right now.
Yeah, because if there's nothing opposed to them, why do they feel the need to really do anything.
Well,
Like,
we're seeing the uptick.
They're providing enough.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say we're seeing the uptick in home runs is a reason for that because a couple years ago their ratings were utter shit.
But where
so they're
do you
fine
see the
now.
uptick in home runs? Is it mostly in the American League where you usually see a lot of home
Nah,
runs, or is it in the National League as well?
It's across the league.
I know, but where do you see most of the uptick though? Is it mostly in the American League because that's the league that hits home runs anyway?
No, I think
it's a batters league, the American League. That's why
but I'm saying I don't think it's just the American League is what I'm saying. I think this time it's very widespread. I mean, you look at it, Bellinger, Yelich. I mean, there's a bunch of guys on pace for 50 home runs.
Yeah, but like you said earlier, even with all that, the MLB just does not do a good job of marketing these guys.
No, they definitely don't.
I think they're fine. I'm like, because
the discussion about Mike Trout has gone on for years.
They're not fighting for attention over anybody, and okay, if you were to market the sport to get more viewers, now you're asking them to possibly go beyond their hardcore base and reach out to casual fans.
Which is what they need to do.
Sounds like, which kind of sounds like what happens in sports video games and what happens to the product. It gets watered down. Don't we frown upon that?
Yeah, but baseball's been watered down
by
catering to the hardcore base. They're watering their own product down because nobody wants to watch it. Yes, they have. Nobody wants to watch it.
Baseball. They started to lose their hardcore fans because they started watering it down.
But the casual fans have become...
Hockey took a hit initially when they watered down the sport. When all of a sudden you could pass the puck more than 2 lines at a time.
But the casual fans have become... No, but I'm saying the casual fans of baseball...
as far as NHL is concerned.
No, but I'm saying the casual fans in the MLB have become hardcore fans in the past couple of years with the uptick in home runs, and I think that's a positive because the hardcore fans who are antiquated and say, "Hey, nobody do backflips," fuck them. I don't care if they stick around or not. Who cares? Y'all stuck in the past. So the fans that are coming because they see home runs and saying, you know, maybe I won't go to the beach today. Maybe I'll watch my team play. Those are the fans that they want, and I think it's a good. It's a good strategy.
Become the casual fans because they're more worried about one aspect of the game when in fact it's a whole sport. It's about play-by-play interactions. The sport is not like it's not a microwave type of sport. You can't make baseball a microwave type of sport.
They aren't.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that they are, but they've tried to institute stuff like a shot clock or pitch clock or whatever, where a pitcher will have
to make it more viewer friendly.
I think at the end of the day,
but that's a casual thing.
But you can't increase your hardcore fan base without adding casuals at some point.
Yeah, they got to become. They got to be hardcore.
This goes to the discussion I had with somebody about everybody bitching about bandwagon fans. How do these teams become the revered franchises that they are in America? Because casual fans jumped on the bandwagon when they got good. The Patriots fans here weren't cheering for the Patriots when Drew Bledsoe was fucking the quarterback. Then all of a sudden, here comes Tom Brady. And you got these hardcore fans after a few years to say, yes, I can get behind this. And then you have the people from other states who say, yes, I can get behind this. That's how the Cowboys fan base came to be. Because casual fans became hardcore fans when they bought in. It's no different than Toronto last year in the playoffs or the Clippers this year. It's always going to be that way. So casual fans, they turn into hardcore fans when you get them to buy in. And I think that the Major League Baseball, they're finally getting casual fans to buy in. That's just my view of it, though. I get what you're saying, but I think that they're getting the casual fans to finally buy in and say, yes, I can watch this during the summer and not care if football doesn't start till August, if the NBA doesn't start until October.
Yeah, I think what's on the field or on the baseball field does help, because if that happens, they will bring more people in. But I think they need to start getting more players that Americans can relate to. It's an international sport, and it does well on that level. I mean, MLB is not doing bad. It's just not. It
Yeah,
should be doing. It should be doing as well as NFL and
going unopposed.
yeah, yeah. It should do as well as the other ones.
Fife said Major League Baseball needs off-field drama like NBA's off-court drama to be interesting. No, I disagree. I think they're doing
Yeah, I disagree
what
with
they're
that.
doing now is perfect. I don't think they need to manufacture any drama because first off, nobody
And
will
people would
believe
be able
it.
to tell it's manufactured.
Yeah, nobody will believe it. Nobody will believe it. Baseball teams are some of the most close-knit organizations in all sports. So for them to start doing that after years and years and years and years, I mean, people would see right through it. I mean, and that goes to the hardcore fans. They would see right through that because all these teams are so close knit. They go out to dinner together. Um, they hang out way more than NBA teams might off the field. They're just really close knit. That's why when a player gets traded, it's a bigger deal within the team in Major League Baseball because every piece on a baseball team is like way more important than every piece on an NBA team or every piece on an NFL team. It's like every piece has a role, and they form this team and they form a camaraderie. So it's like you can't really manufacture. I mean, they have the drama there. There are teams that just don't like each other, and I think it's entertaining at times. But I think some of the thought process in baseball is still a bit antiquated as far as the no bat flips and I don't know. That's where I start to hate Major League Baseball is that aspect, taking itself too seriously.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I just think they just need people. They need players that the masses in America can relate to again. I think that they kind of lost that, and I know they're trying to do it with gameplay on the field, which is great. But it may help, but I don't think it's enough.
Because here's the thing is another way that baseball got all of these hardcore fans in the past was their fathers were taking the kids to the baseball games, and it was more affordable than the NBA, more affordable than NFL. It was a place where you could go and teach your son about the game and have a laid back time at the game, and that I think has kind of gone by the wayside and transferred over to the NBA, unfortunately, because now you see way more kids in NBA games than you used to, and the fathers are kind of having that bonding time at NBA games and kind of transferred, all of that energy to basketball.
All right.
Because I've gone to baseball games in recent years, and I've noticed a shift in the climate and the demographic.
Yeah, I mean, you just
Yeah,
you can look at the audience. Is
yeah,
the audience in a baseball?
a lot more couples
Yeah,
and groups of 25 to 35-year-olds that are they're going out and it's different.
yeah.
It's just
You see a lot of couples because you see a lot of people that's laid back that just want to relax and just watch.
especially a day game.
Yeah, they're not there to actually like root for the team or whatever. I mean, they do, but it's not like that. Most people there, they're just there just to sit down and relax and watch.
And believe it or not, you find a lot more hardcore fans at the night games than the day games.
Right.
A lot more kids at the day games, a lot more hardcore fans at the night games. A lot more hardcore fans. The climate's completely different. I mean, even in basketball, I've gone to a game at 1 o'clock in Boston Garden compared to a game at 7 o'clock. It's just different.
Well,
So,
it's almost different. It's almost like the movies. I mean, most people don't go to the matinees. The hardcore
yeah,
movie watchers, they go at night.
yeah,
So I mean,
yeah.
it's almost like a parallel to it.
I would say the NFL is the only sport, and I'll say hockey, where the demographic throughout the day doesn't really change. I mean, hardcore fans are gonna be hardcore fans. Night game, day game, doesn't matter for football. Doesn't matter for hockey either. But I think basketball and baseball are the two sports that really suffer based on the time of day that the game happens. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything else y'all got to add on that? 'Cause,
Well, I was about to
No.
drop this This thing I just came across on Twitter. I'm just posting in the
we're like well over 2 hours. I'm like surprised that it.
Oh yeah, we're way past 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm like surprised it went that far. I mean, it just went by fast. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, part of that time was spent the time out earlier, so
yeah, I was a time out.
Wouldn't realize it.
Oh, and just another little nugget about sports, real quick. Great for tennis that Nadal and Federer are going to play tomorrow.
Oh, that's good. That's good. It's good.
And
regardless
of the result,
finals.
Yes, and regardless of the finals, I should say, regardless of who wins between Federer and Nadal, you get a matchup with Djokovic in the finals. So either way, it's going to be entertaining stuff. You got Serena in the finals, and then you got Djokovic in the finals automatically, and either Federer and Nadal. So I mean, good stuff.
I need to find.
Yeah, but you gotta post this. You gotta post this. This Twitter status because the.
Oh, is it in our chat?
Yeah, it's in our chat.
Okay, I got it.
I'm like, it could be added to. Like, if I wanted to really do fuckery on the timeline, this would be one of them. The other one.
Where did you put it?
Would be the. I put it in our.
Oh
yeah! All right, we're gonna close the podcast on this. The Knicks just can't catch a break, bro. The Knicks can't catch a break. Marcus Morris, he agrees to a 1-year deal, $15 million contract with the Knicks after backing out the Spurs. I don't see where the Knicks win with this. They got.
Wait a minute.
No, that's not the story. Who's on who's the image of?
Oh shit!
It's fucking smart.
Wait a minute.
That's the issue here. I don't care about where he signed.
Yo, I swear
that this dude Kurt has a picture of Marcus Spurt and not Marcus Morris.
No, I swear I didn't.
We all looking like Kurt. I see how I'm shocked that this man's name was Kurt. And
I swear I didn't even look at the picture. I swear I didn't even look at the picture.
That's crazy.
I didn't even look at the picture. I'm sorry. I didn't even look at the picture.
That's why I saw it as soon as I opened it. I'm like, wait a minute.
I figured, Bills. I figured you would figure it out right away.
I just wanted to read what it said. That's all. I didn't even look at the picture.
Yo.
Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Wait, no, Kurt.
Here's
my question.
On the timeline.
I got a question. What the hell is Marcus Morris thinking signing a 1-year, $15 million contract with the Knicks? Like, what were the Spurs offering? What were the Spurs offering that was so bad?
This guy doesn't have an asterisk next to his name, so I don't even know if this is even true. But still,
no, it is.
Okay, I was just making sure because he didn't have that star next to his name. You know how we gotta check our sources these days.
It's been documented that Marcus Morris was going to the Spurs or the Knicks for at least a week or so.
So I'm trying to figure out what the Spurs offered him that was so insulting that he's like, oh, no, I'll go and play a year on the worst team in the league. Ugh. And what were the Celtics offering him? We needed him back.
That's crazy.
Mm.
I didn't even look at the picture. I swear I did. I'm like, what? Wow.
Other than that, the other fuckery on the timeline was the bagel guy, the little short guy that challenged him 3 times his size.
The little bundle of fury.
Yeah, I didn't even. I saw that. I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I
just want to know why somebody didn't one-hit acquitted that dude.
Right.
But hold up. But it got worse. It wasn't just that 2-part or 1 full video. Wow. He did it again. He appeared late night at a 7-Eleven type store and was complaining because the guy asked him how tall he was.
I saw it.
So me and my girl I don't think we came to a conclusion at the same time, but we were discussing why people do what they do, and it's clear to her. It was clear to her without even like this second part, but it seems like this dude's just doing this just to get attention.
At this point, yes, of course.
Yeah. Now that there's a second video of him going berserk over people questioning his height, he's clearly looking for attention.
This tweet puts everything in perspective for the NBA. It says Steph is now the longest tenured player in the NBA with an original team who drafted him. Stephen Curry. It's insane, ain't it?
Yeah, when you think about it, yeah, it is.
That is
Considering
the
the fact,
NBA
yeah.
now.
Well, it's consider. I'm considering the fact it's like, damn, he been in the league that long. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Been in the
because I
league 10
remember
years.
It's been 10 years since
it seemed like it was yesterday when he was torching my Hoyas in the NCAAs in the second half.
It seemed like just yesterday for me that he had the ankle problems, and we're like, when is he actually going to hit his stride and stay on the court? Because I remember him hurting his ankle, and I mean seriously hurting his ankle numerous times.
Anything else I got before we go?
No, that's
well. Other than this,
stuff, though.
Fuck you, Ray Allen.
what?
Okay, that came
And
out.
I only say that because I saw a highlight film of Ray Allen, and he had a shot in the NBA that reminded me when he sank my Hoyas in the Big East tournament. That same exact shot. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
Wow.
The latest episode of Keeping That Same Energy.
I mean, latest episode of Where Are They Now? Because Ray Allen hasn't been relevant.
Yeah, it's like 2016. If that. 2014.
Yeah.
Well, the Celtics keep making sure they make him irrelevant. They don't invite him to reunions. They also are like, fuck him too.
Yeah, that's some whole ass niggas.
Yeah, you know how that is. All right, this is episode 75 of the First Framerates Podcast. Once again, it's myself, DJ81, Bill's fourth. Next week I'm gonna try to get into the summer league, see how that played out. Talk about that, and that's we can do some Madden talk. It's almost getting about that time, so I think those two things are going to be on the topic, and anything else that happens throughout the week. Once again, I'm gonna keep this very short. DJ intro champ, check the affiliate link if you want intros for your channel. It works out very well. Intro champ for your channel and your live streams. I think they're very good to use. Use the link, get a good kickback for us and a good discount for yourself. Bill, is anything you want to add before we go?
Fuck Karl Malone.
Oh, that's all day long. I'm here for that.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
And fuck Michelle Beadle too.
Wait
a minute.
About to look up his favorite lingerie league player.
You said what Michelle Beadle do, man? Ain't enough time in the day. Go ahead, DJ. What's
we'll talk about that when we get off the. All right, DJ, what's up with you, man?
Yeah. All right, but you guys can find me on Twitter. I'm not. No one has been able to ban me for anything because lately YouTubers have been banned on Twitter, permaban. But you can find me there, DJ81. Find my YouTube channel under Derek Jordan, and hopefully soon I can start giving out programs as a personal trainer. I'm already certified. I'm just rebranding and rebuilding myself. So there you go.
All right. Thank you, Doug Thomas, for all the feedback, and I hope you have a great night as well. TD, I think this is my first time seeing TD in the chat. He came through, did very good feedback. Appreciate that.
Yeah, he was speaking like Yoda earlier. I thought that was funny.
B5 has actually made an appearance after 20 episodes. Couldn't find him.
Right. And, what else you been?
Yeah, exactly. And everybody else, they're the usuals, man. Thank you guys for keeping us relevant. And
TD, what did Karl Malone do?
Listen, please don't.
we can dedicate a whole. We can dedicate a whole podcast to that. But
we should do a whole podcast on players we hate.
TD, come back next week.
That would be a good topic.
That would be a very interesting topic.
I agree. And I will definitely give Bills the floor to let you know how he feels about Karl Malone. You will be entertained. Trust me.
Oh, ass nigga.
Because Sidney Crosby would get this work.
Yeah, I anticipated that.
All right. Yeah, that and Paul Millsap, right?
He doesn't even hate Paul Millsap. He just trolls Paul Millsap.
Did he get up yet?
Yo, he needs to wear a life alert band every time he's
I'm falling. I can't get up.
Oh man. Well,
where'd he go?
No, I'm still here. I'm just looking at something that pertains to intro champ.
He couldn't recite the rest of the commercial since we were short on time, so he's just gonna look at stuff.
Right. Cliff Notes version of the sponsor.
The skippable version.
All right, y'all. I'll see y'all for episode 76. Thanks, you guys, for coming. iTunes, SoundCloud. You know where to find us to download the episodes. See you guys next time. Peace.
And we have a playlist now. Peace.
Yeah.